Welcome to Nick Saban Jr. Sports Talk TV. Thank y'all for tuning in. And we back with my boy Van Edwards. We about to talk about this Alabama versus Georgia game, the most exciting game of the year so far. Probably all this season gonna probably be the best game of the year. But I don't know, because man, when you look at it, talk about it that way, as of now, yes, this is the best game. But if Georgia wins, you talking about Georgia and Texas could be the best game of the year. If Alabama wins and Tennessee continues to stay undefeated, it could be Tennessee, Alabama. So either way, this game is going to brush out to a lot of possible game of the years.
You know, with the way the conferences aren't divided anymore and the fact that there's extra playoff spots, this game still means a lot because it's the next state. Championships have went through with these two teams playing over the years, don't get me wrong. But the season ain't over for either team, no matter who loses. So, you know, you grow and you get better. And I want both sides to recognize that. Whoever you root for, if your team loses, the season is not over. A loss to either one of these teams is not going to hurt you.
And I know that's really hard to explain to both fan bases because it's Alabama, Georgia, but for real, it's no panic. It's no panic. This is almost like an exhibition game. Like what this playoff thing set up now, this is almost just like an expedition game. It's whatever you call it. But of course, to us Georgia fans and Bama fans, it means a lot. Of course, I want to beat the crap out of Georgia, and Georgia want to beat the crap out of us, rightfully so. Got Hugh Freeze in the chat.
Yeah.
got Hugh Freeze.
Look at that picture. See when he was in the hospital bed. Look at it.
Got my man Tom Reed, Keith Holcomb. What's going on? Roll Tide, rise up. Salute. Y'all tap that like button for us. Please tap that like button for us. But we're about to get into this thing because, man, this is a good game. The roster talent.
If you love big time football, this is the game for you every time.
Yes, I don't care what team you are, what conference, what big conference fan you are. This is if you're a football guy, you watching this game. If you're a football guy, you gotta watch a game. It's no excuses. But one of the things I want to talk about before we start doing the deep dive, the roster talent on this field that's going to be on Saturday. Let's break it down. Alabama currently has 17 5-stars. Georgia has 14 5-stars. Alabama has 54 star players. Georgia has 55. We have 15 3-star guys. Georgia has 16 3-stars. That is a lot of freaking talent on one freaking football.
It's ridiculous, man.
Football, if the NFL had like a minor league team, minor league AAA teams, these are the minor league AAA teams for the minor league. Because, man, all these, it's crazy. The amount of talent on one football field, man.
I can't believe, honestly, like it's a treat as a fan to just get to watch these two get to play as often as we do, man. Because, you know, being a big NFL guy, we're going to see 3/4 of these cats on Sundays. And, man, you know, we're already seeing guys from both teams impact the NFL right now, 3 games in, 4 games in. So, you're just getting to see tomorrow's stars today, basically. You know, if you love football, this is one of them games for you.
Damn. Yeah, that's most definitely. Then, you know, what comes with big games like this is the high school recruiting. This game gonna play have so much of an impact on the high school recruiting. We're gonna have a couple of guys going up. I got a little small list, but I know there's way more guys than this list right here. It's way more guys because I've been seeing them because I follow a lot of the high school players from around the world, not just Alabama guys, and a lot of them guys gonna be there tomorrow. I'm probably gonna try to do a video if I can basically talking about all the weekend visitors. But here goes some of the guys that's coming. It's Mason Dunn, cornerback. He's nationally ranked. Hold on, I got blood up. My eyes are sucky. He's nationally ranked 275th in the country. He's committed to Ole Miss currently right now. Then you got Derek Smith. We all know Derek Smith, somebody that was committed to Alabama at one point, but he flipped to Auburn. I think he'll probably be reconsidering that. It'll probably be a flip back once again. But I don't know that for sure. I'm just saying the way things going for Auburn. He's number 50.
I'd go play for Samford, but that's just me.
Facts. He's an athlete, national rank number 54, committed to Auburn. But this one guy that I'm looking at right here hard, and I'm really thinking that we can possibly get him. There's been some buzz, a little bit of buzz, but Ivan Taylor committed to Michigan. Safety, national rank number 60. He is a very talented guy, and I think, man, we can get this guy. But he's committed to Michigan currently right now. Then you got Andrew Olash, a tight end. He's national ranked at 87, committed to Michigan. I think he was on the borderline choosing this at 1.2. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know how that's gonna go. But I like him. I like him a lot. But those are just some of the guys. And like I said, I'm going to try to do a video tomorrow based on the weekend visitors. You know, we was expecting Justice Terry. Justice Terry got canceled on Friday, got pushed back to Saturday, so he'll no longer be on campus. Right now, Georgia is in the league for him right now to commit to Georgia, but I know he's really considering Alabama right now. now.
That's a lot of talent, man. That's a lot.
Yeah. And that was just some. I didn't even go over the whole list I had. That's just some because I know it's a whole lot more. I know.
Oh yeah, dude. You'd be talking about it for an hour, man. There's
like seriously.
A lot of guys gonna be at this game.
And I want to talk about the Georgia and Alabama. They released basically official injury reports for Saturday's game, and we're gonna start off with Georgia with Roger Robinson running back out. We've been knew that. Well, I've been knew that. He's been out for the whole season. Tate Rutledge. Tate Rutledge is one of their big time offensive linemen. And I want to see, you know what I'm saying, can the next guy bring the same intensity? But he's out. Landon Humphrey, the Vanderbilt transfer wide receiver. He's going to be out. Say he got mono. That's what they say, he got mono. Then you got this Sokovie White, wide receiver. He's questionable. Jordan Hall. He's questionable, but I also heard that he kind of re-aggravated it again too, the injury he had. So I guess he's questionable, but he kind of re-aggravated it. Markel Williams is questionable. I think Markel Williams is definitely going to give it the go. One of the best edges in the country, but they pushed him back to outside linebacker, but he's one of the best in the country at what he do. That dude's a baller.
He really is. He's so disruptive, man. Like I expect him. I'm going to see him in the first round of the draft next year.
Most definitely. My son was looking at a mock. He was looking at a mock draft. I told him not pay attention to the mock drafts right now because he's way too early. No. And he said,
"Plus, you got to be careful. You got to be careful who you read on them mock drafts too, because you get them Mel Kiper Juniors that don't even know how to attack a cover two defense. Don't get me started on that. But Mel Kiper Jr. was the guy that told you that Ryan Leaf was better than Peyton Manning. Just stuff like that. So you got to be real careful with some of these dudes.
Yeah, you're right. But he was talking about, man, I'm getting tired of getting an edge guy or something. And I said, who y'all got? I said, on the mock draft, they got Markel Williams. I said, well, I'm going to tell you the truth about Markel Williams. He one of the dudes, if you can get him, if you need that position, if you can get him, you better get him because he that guy, bro.
Yep.
And defensive lineman, Warren Bryson, whatever. He's probable. So, you know what I'm saying? Georgia kind of nicked up. But Alabama, this is what shocked me about Alabama. Our injury report list is real short. Quay Russo, probable. Richard Young, probable. And Jeremiah Alexander, probable. So that means no Cole Adams on the list. Malachi Moore, he healthy, obviously. So for us, at this point in the season, we got a fairly healthy Alabama team. And that's great going into this game. That's great going into this game, man.
You know, Tate Rutledge is basically being out, man. Like, I think he was second team All-American guard last year. He started like 13 out of 14 games. He was part of a unit that was ranked first in the SEC in sacks allowed with like less than one per game. So, I mean, a guy like that not being in hurts, but Georgia has done their staff, their coaching, their university has done such a good job. But they'll have the next man up mentality, and I'm sure he's just as talented, just maybe a little rawer, maybe, a little less experienced, but he'll be good. I guarantee that.
Yeah, most definitely, most definitely. But we've been getting some meat and potatoes. This last thing is that's what we're finna do. Both teams, Alabama, Georgia, 3-0 right now. Points per game for Alabama. We're scoring 49 points, averaging 49 points per game. Georgia averaging 31.7 per game. Passing yards. We are averaging 226.7 passing yards per game. Georgia averaging 256.7 per game. All right. But a rushing yard, we're averaging 230 yards rushing yards per game. Georgia is only averaging 145.7. Current rank for Alabama number 4. Current rank for Georgia is number 2. And what sticks out to me the most about this is 145.7 for Georgia. And I will say, to me, it's something about this Georgia team that looks a little bit off this year. Still highly talented. And the fourth game we're coming into, still could be working out a lot of things, but it looks a little bit different. It looks a little bit off, and I really can't. You can watch the games and see the stuff, but it's something. But with that being said, after that game from Kentucky the other week, I really expect Georgia to be clicking on all cylinders in this game against Alabama and Tuscaloosa. Your thoughts?
Well, I think a lot of that Kentucky game, they watched that Clemson game, especially the first half, and they really did two things that's really showed up on tape for me is being able to run the ball against Georgia. They're giving up around 110 yards a game, I think, on average, roughly right now, which ain't terrible, but it's ranked for 42nd. I think it's good for 9th in the country. Now, stats are skewed because they have played a good Clemson team. They have played a formidable Kentucky team. I got to give them some leeway there. But to see Georgia giving up 110 yards a game defensively against the run is a little suspect to me. That's a little strange. I'm not used to that. And they use that to their advantage. And then on the opposite side of that, when Clemson could shut down their run game, everybody knows. I mean, I'm stating obvious here. Georgia's offense moves through their ability to run the ball consistently.
Yes, most definitely.
I'm saying that. When you're able to slow down their run game like Clemson did in the first half, they had 6 points. Look at the Kentucky game. When they finally got the ball rolling with Trevor Etienne, their only touchdown of the game came off the fact that he was able to bust out some good runs.
Yeah.
So if you can slow that down, you can slow down Georgia. That being said, you got to be able to do it. And talking about it and doing it's two different things. So that's some things I expect Alabama to try to do. I mean, obviously. But, on the flip side of that, Alabama's run defense has not looked the best it's ever been either. I mean, there's been certain drives. Yeah, Matter, he's all over it. There's been certain drives in every game this year when teams start running the ball, and it frustrates the hell out of me because I'm like, just stop it, and we can't, And so, I mean, there's a lot both teams have got. They've got baggage in this game.
And I'm going to speak on that more. And I'm going to tell you, too, like I say, it's something about the Georgia team that looks different, and especially the defense part. And what happens with that, the reason why I say that, because it's the same thing with Alabama. Nick Saban has brought a defense in like his early part of the years that when we had our best defenses, that has been our standard. So if we see anything less than that, it's like, that 2021 defense that Georgia had with Jordan Davis and Jalen Carter on the D line. Now, what we're seeing is that's the standard that we are expecting from Georgia. So that's why we talking about two teams that has two good defenses, two really good defenses. But when you see those little flaws like that, because like Keith Falcon said, we ain't been a steel curtain defense ourselves. And that is the thing that concerns me about going into this game. If Georgia gets a run game going, are we going to be strong enough? Can we be strong enough to stop this interior run game from these guys? Because we all know Georgia likes to operate off of play action. If they got a good run game going, their play action is going to be very effective. That is what happened in the Kentucky game. They didn't get much of a run game going, so the pass play calling was kind of dead. You know what I'm saying? Because of the lack of run game. And honestly, guys, Alabama defense been giving up some runs. The USF game, they did it different. They went fast tempo and they did it with a quarterback. Wisconsin, they had some good moments in the run game. Of course, where they had like a 17-play drive where that was just killing us. So
I was so damn aggravated. Oh my god!
Yeah, man, like come on.
So me and you were texting during the game, and we were both just like, "Good God, just stop it, man!" It just we felt helpless.
Like for real. So with that being said, the players that I look at for Alabama on the aspect is I'm looking for LT Overton to step up, Tim Kenyon to keep going. We need the run stoppers on the defensive line. Like we need the run stopper. Where's Jaheim Otis been out here? Like I'm ready to see him. Yeah, I'm ready to see him wake up.
Somebody like him getting a little more looks, a little more time. Game like this, you need that big body guy that can suck up some blocks, man, and cause disruptions in the middle.
And just able to understand that, but understand the fact that, and I heard the stuff Kane Womack said. Kane Womack plans to fix it, but it's one of those things. Is it just coach talk, or are we really gonna fix it? Because in the same time, Georgia had 2 weeks just as well. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah. And you can't undermine because, with Nick Saban retiring. I mean, you got to think Kirby Smart's the biggest dog in the yard right now. 2 national championships, a team that just constantly produces, and they're always in contention. And we've got a good coach, but he's not proven in the SEC and with a bigger program yet. So, yeah, I mean, I'm not going to sit here and act like I don't expect them to be ready with 2 weeks. I mean, Georgia's ready. They're always ready.
Waylon, my man, what's up, man?
Hey, Waylon.
See you in a minute. But
hey, shout out Stephen Hicks, too, man.
Yeah, Stephen Hicks, salute, baby. 2-time. What's going on, bro?
A good Georgia fan. And Tom Reed. Yeah. 2 good Georgia fans. Guys you can talk to without getting crazy.
Yes, facts. There. I say this too about Kirby. Will this game be the pass under the torch to Georgia? Now that Nick is gone, is this the game that the torch is passed it over to Georgia? Because these are the guys. This is the guy that's expecting to take over the SEC now. Like that was big talk. Now that Nick is gone, can Kirby take that leap? I think Kirby coming to the game for that fact. I think the media is putting a lot of pressure on him because everybody's saying it was a Nick Saban thing. But is it a Nick Saban thing or is it a Bama thing? Time remains. We'll see real soon. We'll see real soon.
Man, I think you look at some of my talking points because I put the same thing. I said, is the pressure more on DeBoer or is it more on Kirby? And to me, it feels like it's more on Kirby.
Yeah, because it's one of them things that it might not be a Saban thing. It might just be a Bama thing.
Sure.
If Bama wins the game, I still feel the standard is in Tuscaloosa, regardless, whatever. Because you can't just take a couple of years of success and be like, "Oh, this is the big dog." But Georgia's definitely going in the right direction on their behalf. But man, I just can't.
At the same time, Alabama was in the playoff last year. Now, that being said, Georgia deserved to go. I've stated that everywhere I've been on since then. Georgia should have been in that playoff just like Alabama should have been in that playoff.
Yeah,
but
most definitely.
So Alabama hadn't just completely fell off. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I know the coaching changed, but there's a lot of talent there, and a good coach is going to do something with good talent. So I'm not concerned there. But yeah, I feel like the pressure's more on Kirby. I really do. Maybe in his own mind, just because of him maybe underperforming or not living up to his own standards against Alabama. I could see that pressure on himself. He may want to go in this game, and just try to prove something. But really, he ain't got nothing to prove, man. He's a two-time national champion. Consistent top 5 program every year.
Consistent.
I mean, fans are going to put pressure on guys because they don't understand how things work. Winning a national championship takes a lot of luck as much as it does talent sometimes. Things got to go your way. We've seen it with Alabama squads, And so, yeah, I mean, Kirby's he's king of the hill right now.
Yeah. And like I said, winning that championship takes a lot of luck. And what I mean by that is, man, getting your players to stay injured, keeping everybody on the same sheet of music, playing the same tune, the same note throughout the season. Man, it's so freaking hard to win national championships, let alone go back to back. So,
yep. Yeah. And let me say this real quick. And I know some of y'all won't. I've already seen some statements from Keith Holcomb and Rise Up. But if Alabama was to lose this game, can we not immediately hit the panic button on the new coach? I mean, can we try not to do that, please? Because, I mean, this guy's first year, he's not even really officially running his offense yet. He's not implemented everything he wants to do just yet. So let's calm down. If we lose the game, we lost to a good Georgia team. Let's respect that and maybe try not to have the coach fired after 4 games. Because I've seen how some of these Bama fans be acting sometimes. It's crazy. They had Nick Saban fired a few times sometimes. I've seen it.
Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah. That's so for real, man. Like, honestly, if it were to happen, I think it makes this team better. I think it makes Coach Keller and the boy better. I think it makes the staff a whole lot better. And
sometimes you get better from a loss too. And if you lose a top name to a good Georgia program or vice versa to a good Alabama program, there's growth that can be had from that. We've seen it before. So, I mean, don't write the teams off. Don't write your coaches off just yet.
And the thing about it, for both teams, if it were to happen for both teams, good thing about it is early in the season, just the 4th game of the season. So that's a good thing. Mm-hmm. But one thing I want to talk about too is, we got this, like, I think I even heard you mention that killing this. I don't know if I heard you mention, they said this is one of Killing the Boy's biggest game of his career. And it's crazy saying that when he played in the national championship last year. This man.
And I get where they're coming from. As far as a regular season game, it may be the biggest. But you also got to think, he went to a national title game last year with a undersized, less talented Washington team. So trust me, that playoff game against Texas and then against Michigan, I think those games were pretty big too.
And this is another thing I point out. It was Oregon. I'm not the biggest Oregon guy. I'm not going to but they're playing
perennial top 10 team most years.
Huh?
Perennial top 10 program most years.
Played them 2 times last year and won both.
Yeah. And that Oregon team
followed it up with a win. Then followed it up with a win against Steve Sarkisian's high-powered offense.
A team that beat us early in the season. Which is another, and I hate to just completely rebound the conversation, which is why I told a lot of Clemson fans not to give up just yet either. Because an early loss to a Georgia team that's well prepared and come out and jumped on you in the second half, Clemson season ain't over yet. I'm looking forward to seeing Clemson and Michigan. Clemson and Miami. If they meet up, whether it's the conference championship, I can't wait to see that, man.
Because have you been
Clemson may not lose another game this year. Clemson they're getting better every week now. And that's what I'm saying. Learn from the loss. Sometimes a team needs to get smacked in the mouth and wake up a little bit.
So, my ask you this, moving forward on this. What do you expect out of Jalen Milroe coming from this game?
Well, I mean, when I wrote my notes, I started with Jalen Milroe because to me that was one of the biggest keys of this game. The offense moves through Jalen Milroe, whether he's doing it with his feet or his arm. It moves through Milroe. When Alabama beat Georgia last year, he put up some big plays when the drives mattered the most towards the end of the game. With his arm and with his feet. We've seen improvement. We've talked about it the last few weeks. We've seen Milroe stepping up in the pocket, throwing guys open, the kind of stuff we've been wanting to see out of him. And I think having a quarterback-friendly coach has really kind of upped his game even more. And so you got to think he's one of the biggest keys for Alabama. I think they're going to have to let him run the ball a little bit to try to keep Georgia's defense honest. Just a little bit. I don't want them to key on any one thing too much. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They're going to come out, cover 2 high safety because Alabama's one of the most explosive teams in the country right now. I think we lead the country in 80-plus yard touchdown plays.
Matter of fact, most of our touchdowns have been 85% of them has been off of explosive plays.
Exactly right. So we're feast or famine right now, realistically, on offense. We're kind of like watching the Warriors a couple years ago where they lived and died by the 3 ball.
Yeah.
They could wear you out, but if they didn't come out hot, defensively, you can shut them down quick. So, playing, if they're going to try to eliminate the deep ball, I expect that. Cover 2 high safety a lot. Well, I think this could be the game where we see Milroe have to work the intermediate and short game.
Yes.
And we're going to see where the coaching has improved him, hopefully. I expect to see him get used a lot in the run game, designed runs for him, just to keep the defense honest, kind of stretch them out just a little bit because if we don't, we'll never get the run game going.
Yeah.
But we're going to have to run enough to keep their defense honest. If we don't, we can't just try to live off the big play because Georgia's give up, 2 plays of 20-plus yards all year?
Yeah.
So they ain't putting up with all that.
And that was one of my talking points too. Is with that being said, talking about explosive plays, we're an explosive play team so far, and Georgia ain't giving up no explosive plays. They ain't giving up a touchdown, let alone an explosive play. So
this is realistically the irresistible force meets the movable object, right?
Yeah.
I mean, really, something's got to give here.
I was talking about. I think it's gonna be hard for the explosive play with KJ Bolden and Malachi Starks back there.
Oh, dude, Starks is good, man.
Yes, that boy good. That boy good. It's one of them things that somebody's gonna have to step up. This is the game I would like to see more tight end play, like coming like you said, under the.
I told you, man, we got the same notes.
Yes, we're gonna have to see that. We're gonna have to see that. Can Kenneth Law be our Isaiah Bond of last year? And what I mean is, with the speed that he has, can we find him open and let him take maybe a 5-yard catch? Can he take it for 20 or something like that? You know what I'm saying? Like, if you look at Isaiah Bond's stats last year, it was no eye-popping stats, but when you look at the game, he had game-changing moments.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying? He had game-changing moments, and can we have that player to step up and have game-changing moments, whether it's Kendrick Law, Kobe Prince, whoever. But I feel like we're gonna have to work that underneath game, pass game, a lot because when we talk about Georgia linebackers, I think that's what hurt them in the game last year. They was young, and we took advantage of that. This year, they're not young. They're very experienced this year. And I don't expect that same linebacker play for the national championship in this game.
No. And, the thing about it, too, we were talking about the cover, too. I think they're trying to eliminate the big play from a Ryan Williams or a Jeremy Bernard. Well, they're going to spy Milroe as well.
Yes.
They got to. All right,
I wouldn't doubt if they had 2 spies on them.
They did it last year.
Yep.
More times than not, they used 2 spies. So with us trying to eliminate that and trying to eliminate his ability to run the ball, you could really eat them up with a short intermediate game right now. Yeah. And then that'll open up your ability to run the ball. So, man, I'm telling you, do you think this will be the game that CJ Dupree or even a Josh Cuevas becomes the big star?
Yes. And
because you use the tight end running up that seam in that short and intermediate game, dude, you can bust up a cover too.
Yes. You damn sure can. And that's why I say tight ends, because these are the things I think about when you talk about these games, like that can be the killer. We know Kellen DeBoer likes to use tight ends. We haven't seen it yet. But like we say, are they holding something back? No, I don't think they're holding nothing back. I just think they call plays according to how the game is going. And this is going to be a game where you're going to open it up more because how the game goes is going to allow is going to dictate how you call plays during this game. And the way Georgia plays football, it's going to allow you to be able to going to have to go through more than just an explosive play. Because listen, we can celebrate that Wisconsin win because we went to kept around and beat them or jumped around and beat them down. But let's be for real. Wisconsin ain't got that firepower like that. When Tyler Van Dyke went out there, made it show enough. That saw that game show enough up. You know what I'm saying? But now, this game is going. This game is showing enough going to be able to tell us a lot about the offensive play calling, how much Jalen Milroe has improved. I still think he improved a lot. And talking about quarterbacks, Carson Beck. What are you expecting from Carson Beck? How you feel that Carson Beck needs to approach this game?
Well, from watching him this year, it's a Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde type thing. When he does it, when he's got a clean pocket, he'll pick you apart. But when I've seen teams be able to get pressure on him, he's not a great thrower on the run. When he's having to move around the pocket, when the pocket's a little dirty, and I'll say the same for Milroe at times. But so if Alabama can put him in a blender a little bit and just kind of let him know that same thing they did last year, I think they sacked him twice in the game, but they kept constant pressure on him, and he wasn't able to sit there and get comfortable, and it changed his game, the way he could be used. So, that's a big key right there because Beck will pick you apart with a clean pocket. He's a highly accurate quarterback, man. He can make any throw on the field. I don't think he's the greatest deep ball thrower, just from what I've watched, but he will eat you alive in that short intermediate play. So, you got to put pressure on a guy like that. And I really expect, and I wrote this down actually, I expect Alabama to use a lot of exotic blitzes that we hadn't necessarily seen this year. Yeah. I think we're going to be trying to disguise and apply pressure from different areas to keep him uncomfortable. We pretty much
Most definitely, yeah. Especially this from the Kane Womack. I expect them to step that up a lot more. Because honestly, he hasn't really had to do that much of that stuff against the opponents we have played.
Not at all.
And let's go back. I want to go back to Jalen Milroe. I know we talk about Beck. Like you said, apply pressure. Milroe the same way. If Georgia can get that pressure on Milroe, get him uncomfortable, it can be you know what I'm saying, outside the sea. Because we seen one thing about Milroe, he doesn't turn the ball over. But what his weakness is, he will take an 18-yard sack. You know what I'm saying? He will take an 18-yard sack.
It ain't nothing makes me throw my hat faster than see a quarterback take an 18-yard sack. I'm like, bro, that damn ball. But, you know, it's easy for me to do from my recliner. I understand that. Right. And I was never the athlete to play quarterback in high school. That's why I was I was a lineman. But I had a quick question. I skipped over it real quick. You had mentioned Kendrick Law.
Yeah.
And we had talked about how the defense is going to have to use, you know, 2 high safeties to eliminate the big play, and they're going to have spies out there. Do you think Kendrick Law eats in a different way this time? Do you think they use a lot of crossing routes, maybe some pop passes, you know, something like that, maybe even some designed runs to use his athleticism to stretch them out even further when they're in that type of defense? Do you think we could see things like that?
Honestly, when I was thinking of Kendrick Law the last couple of days, it's the exact way I was thinking to use him. Crossing patterns, just put the ball in his hand and let him be an athlete. Just let him be the athlete. He has the speed, he has the body size to do whatever we need to do. But yes, that's the exact way I was thinking. Little crossing patterns, get him in space, get open. Whether it's the jet sweep, little pop pass, whatever, just to put the ball in his hand to let his presence be felt towards his game.
Right. Because you could really stretch a defense out with a guy like that, using him, scheming him up with different ways, getting the ball in his hand as much as possible. His athleticism, man, he's crazy.
Yeah, for real. And what we talking about using tight ends, Kendrick Law, basically on in a minute. Because when you look at Kellen DeBoer, when you just look at all his officers from Fresno's to Washington, whatever, it's the big play. It's the big pass playability in that thing. But one thing about it is long in developing.
Yes, they chip away at you with other things and they lull you to sleep, man.
Yes, and with Georgia, it can't be with that immediately, especially with the linebackers and the D line be able to get pressure. That longer development shit, you're gonna have to get the ball out your hand quicker. Hit the tight ends or hit a Kendrick Law underneath a jam or running back in the flats or whatever. You're gonna have to get it out. But let me go back to Carson Beck.
Hold up. I see this comment right here from Alabama Tide. And it says Kentucky ran on Georgia, ... And I agree, they did. They did run the ball on Georgia. But that's Kentucky and Georgia. Like, they used a good scheme the same way Clemson ran the ball on them in the first half when they played them. But they made adjustments. And part of the problem, what people didn't talk about is the way Kentucky ran the ball in that game.
Yeah.
And that was Vandergriff. He had 70-something rushing yards in that game. I think he even busted about a 19-yarder at one point.
Yeah.
Kirby's kryptonite has always and will forever be a mobile
quarterback.
And Vandergriff ain't sniffing Milroe's jock when it comes to being mobile. So that's two different quarterbacks. So, I mean, I definitely expect that aspect of Milroe to play a big part in it, for sure.
Most definitely. But Beck, you know, this offseason, what I said about Beck, I said, I think we have seen the best of Beck. And when I told Georgia fans that, they thought I was, oh, you crazy, Beck this, Beck that. I said, you listening to what I said because I'm an Alabama fan. You think I'm hating. I said, if Beck has the same exact season that he had last year, that season was actually good enough to go to a national championship.
Yeah, he had a phenomenal season. He was clean with it. Not a lot of turnovers.
Yes.
Great pocket awareness. Made perfect throws. Used his checkdowns correctly. Didn't try to play hero ball. He didn't put Georgia in a bad place a lot of times, you know. So, yeah, I mean, if he plays up to what he played last year, Georgia, you're going to be right back in the playoffs. I mean, that's not a knock. We know he's a good quarterback.
Yes. And so with that being said, I think about Beck, but I think about what he has around him. Last year he had Brock Bowers, Ladd McConkey. Somebody they can bail him out. Who for Georgia is that guy this year? I haven't seen it that much this year. So this year, he has dudes around him. He has a wide receiver core. We're just not seeing it.
Yeah,
But
who's going to be that
I,
star for him in this game? You know, that's the question. Like,
yes,
who's going to step up to make those plays? And you know, I agree they're not as established yet. Brock Bowers don't come down the pipe every day. That dude
nah,
was
hell
incredible.
no.
He was incredible. He's incredible right now. I watched him go off with the Raiders 2 weeks ago, like he was a 5-year vet. That man, trust me, there was so many times I was like, boy, I'd love to see him play for us. I mean, one of the best college tight ends I've seen in a long time. But you know, him and Lad McConkey, you know, guys like that, because McConkey'd eat you alive in the slot. I mean, absolutely eat you alive in the slot. So, I mean, who's those guys going to be for Georgia right now? That's a good question. That's a fantastic question.
And so, with that being said, I think Carson Beck is going to have to probably do a little bit more this game, this year.
Oh,
and if he can do that and execute however that he may see that fit, I think Carson Beck could have one of the biggest games of his career. He probably could have a high moment in here. I'm expecting him to be heroic in this game. I'm expecting him to bring that, take it up a step, extra level against this team, because I'm pretty sure they want this guy. I know they want this game very bad. They gotta want it very bad.
You know, and when you said that, I don't want people thinking that you're dissing Georgia, that they don't have good players. We know they got good players. They're inexperienced players. They're not the guys that they relied on for 2 to 3 years last year. You know, that's all you're trying to say. Like, we know they've got dogs out there. It's just who's going to step up and be that dog. That's what we're looking to see.
Yes, exactly what I was saying. Because look, Kobe Young, the dude from Miami, he'll do Landon Humphries. He's not playing, but he'll do Dominique Lovett. We see him be a dude in Missouri. He was better. He played better at Missouri than he has shown at Georgia so far. But we know he has that dog ability in him. We know Oscar Dell. He ain't no Brock Bowers, but he pretty dang on good. You know what I'm saying?
By the way, Ken, I agree with you, my friend. I do still believe that games are won in the trenches. It's often overlooked. It ain't the prettiest thing to look at sometimes, but games are won and lost in the trenches, 100%.
And honestly, that's where I think the game's still gonna be won at, in the trenches. Who has the better trench play? Who has the better trench play? Will we see this game? Will we see Georgia wide receivers test the secondary we at?
Hey, if you had to pick a weakness right now, our secondary is unproven. Talented, but unproven. Just like you said about the Georgia receivers.
If I was Bobo, I'd try.
I'd have to. I'd have to, but I'll say this, with Keon Saab and Malachi Moore floating around out there, them some playmakers.
That's tough. That'd be tough.
And I'll see some of that, because one of those guys may be my player of the game prediction, but I'll leave it there. But
so what I want to talk about is Alabama run game. I like what we've done thus far in the season. Honestly, I do think we can run the ball on Georgia. I think it's going to be tough, but I think we will have bright moments on running the ball against Georgia. Jam Miller. Yeah, Jam Miller. that is the guy I am. Listen, I'm still excited about Justin Hayes. Justin Hayes going to be that dude, but Jam Miller right now just has that special thing about him, bro.
He's got that Mark Ingram factor to him, man.
Yes.
Old 22 here.
Deuce.
The way Mark Ingram ran the football, you know, that one cut, flash, and gone. There wasn't no dancing. And when he caught up to that secondary, he was hard to handle. He get handsy, you know. So, yeah, man, Justice Hayes is smooth with it. Don't get me wrong. He's going to have an incredible career. But right now, Miller's that sledgehammer we need to really get the run game popping.
Yes. And like I said, I talked about it earlier. My curiosity is Georgia linebacker group. I think them two guys are ready for this moment. Because last year, let's be real, they didn't have a big game. Michael Williams is coming back from injury. He coming back from injury. I expect them to be like a big time X factor in this game for Georgia, honestly, in my opinion. Just some guys in the secondary, but that front seven, I'm curious to see how Georgia front seven going, because they a little banged up too as well on the front seven too. But do they step up enough to be able to hold it down and slow down that run game? Look for ETN to run wild. You said ETN, but you know what I'm actually looking at more? I'm looking at Nate Frazier, the true freshman. I'm expecting Nate Frazier to have the type of game where we really start mentioning him with those past Georgia running backs, like a Chubb or a Gurley, to put him in that type of conversation after this game. I'm expecting a lot from the true freshman. Might sound crazy to some people, but yes, I'm expecting a lot out of that true freshman in the run game.
Yep, I agree with that. I think ETN's like the better, like, I don't know, more explosive guy, I guess you would say. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But yeah, that other cat, man, he'll hit you 4 or 5 yards at a time, and then bam, he'll bust out on you. So yeah, they got a hell of a backfield.
And see, with that being said, the reason why I'm expecting, because even when we see just saying Jaron Miller, I think this could be a game for Justice Hayes, because what have we seen from Alabama offense? Explosive. Well, what have we not seen from Alabama offense is, let's run some plays, time of possession. Time of possession is going to matter in this game.
Control that tempo.
Yes, Jaron Miller is going to be that type of run back after we didn't a time of possession on them, then ran it up. Then he bust you for that big play. But this is the game where time of possession is going to matter. Can we get Carson Beck on the sideline holding that helmet, looking up at that clock, wondering like, okay, what do I got to do? What can I do to hang on? That's what we need to do to Georgia's defense. We need to slow them down. The explosive plays look good, but what happens with explosive plays is you put the other team back out there on the field to give them a chance to score. So what I'm going to say Alabama's best defense need to be is time of possession on offense.
Hey, man, I wrote down in my notes right here, controlling the tempo, and I just circled it because we can't live and die with the deep ball against this Georgia defense. It's just not going to work. You got to develop that big play, and you got to control that clock. And, you know, with Malachi Starks and guys like that back there in their secondary, you know what I'm saying? Like, they're ready. So we've got to approach this a little differently. And if Georgia's defense has a weakness, it has definitely been against the run so far.
Yes.
So we've got to exploit that. We've got to try our best to exploit that. Now, they ain't going to give it to us willingly, but we got to take it. So we've got to find a way to go in there and take it.
Most definitely.
And somebody said this game will get Bobo fired.
Who said? I can't find it. Alabama ties. I don't know if this game will get them fired, but I believe if offense don't go the way they wanted to go this year, I believe. I'm just telling you, man. Georgia right now is in that moment where Saban had to do an offensive change. Remember that moment when we were just ground and pounding? If Georgia do that, if Kirby can make that switch like Nick Saban did when he hired Lane Kiffin, knew it was time for offense change, Georgia would be in a whole nother freaking world right now.
Yep.
And I think it's that time to make that different offensive style type switch. My opinion.
Although them running everything through the run game first, pretty much, really does pay off with their defense, because man, them guys they get to rest and they get to take 3 and 4 minute drives off, and then they go back in there ready to go. So sometimes a fast up tempo offense can hurt your defense, even if they're talented.
Because we've seen it with Alabama.
Yes, we've seen it the last 2
our
years.
defense. Yep. That's facts. That's facts. That's a fact. Man, this game is gonna be so goddamn exciting, bro. So exciting. So, what are some of the matchups that are you looking for? No, let me ask that different. No, I'm gonna ask that. What are some of the matchups that you're looking forward to?
I don't know if I'm going to word this right, but something that has gotten Alabama burnt in the run game is extending the zone run to the edges. We've seen it a couple of times this year already. You know Georgia is watching that. And they're a lot more talented backfield than we've played all year, obviously. So I expect them to try to do that. And to counter that, I'll follow that up with a question. Will we see Jahad Campbell in the wolf role and then Justin Jefferson in the Mike? That way you got your three top tacklers all out on the field in Campbell, Jefferson, and Lawson at the same time. Because you're going to need that to get out to those edges because they're going to try to expose that.
And when we talk about Justin Jefferson, when he came from, where was it, Hutchinson College, or whatever college he came from, JUCO school, the main thing we talked about was his speed. And we didn't see much last year, but this year we're seeing Justin Jefferson stick with Alabama. We're seeing the payoff. We see him out flying all over the field, making good plays or whatever. And to add him in that Jahad Campbell in that wolf role and have him at the man, that is a plan right there. That should be the plan right there.
To me, it just makes sense. You want your top guys out there on the field because if Georgia tries to expose you with them little zone stretch plays to the outside, and we've struggled there, we're a little vulnerable on the edges.
Yes.
2 times talking about right now, I know he watches film. And that's the thing, man. A little vulnerable out there. So you got to have your best playmakers on the field or Georgia's run game will eat you alive. And if they get the run game going, if they start chunking you up for 4 and 5 and 6 yards of carry, then Carson Beck's going to be ready to play ball. So you got to start there to me. And to me, that's a plan of attack that I would try to approach.
And what I'm looking at is, that's nice as hell right there. That's the plan right there. Let me go call this motherfucker Kane Womberg and look, this is what you need to do.
Hell, holler at him, man. I want a job down there, bro. I'll bring you with me.
That's what you need to do. But how I'm looking at it is, how does Georgia play against Jalen Milroe on this offense? We know Georgia is a man-to-man team. They like to run man. But what happens with that man is, if Jalen Milroe get to running wild, it's going to be hard for them dudes to keep up with him. But at the same time, if you try to play like a little zone type shit, what happens is catch a run. You want to play man to prevent that 8-yard catch turning into a 20-yard play. But if you run zone, that's what kind of happens. You know what I'm saying? You get to do find a soft spot in the zone, boom, catch and go. And you want to kind of prevent that. But what happens too with man is, like I said, you kind of get lost. You kind of lose the quarterback at times. So this my thing. I want to see how do they approach it? Because if they can play man and get their front seven going, that's gonna be a hard game for Alabama. That's gonna be a tough game. If they can play man and the front linebacker and the defensive line to get going, get the pressure, do what they need to do,
it's gonna be a long night.
It's gonna be a tough game. It's gonna be a long game for them.
I totally agree because you think about it. If I was a defensive coordinator, I'm going to want to run man, of course, if I can against this team. I'm especially a guy like Ryan Williams, who's talented, but he's not big yet. His body ain't fully developed. He's 17 years old.
Yeah,
I want that guy pressed up at the line.
Yeah,
I'm trying to jam him at the line with my most physical defensive back. Of course, now there's risk involved there because if he somehow beats that, he's gone. Yeah. And you ain't catching him. So, that's a tactic I would try if I was Georgia, of course, but easier said than done.
Yeah, definitely.
I see where Ken says typical Georgia 5 in the box to a point, but they got to look out for the explosive play and they've got to spy Milroe. So the 5 in the box could be real dangerous for them.
Yeah, most definitely. And I most definitely, I know they're trying to take Ryan Williams and they explosive shit out the game. I know they ain't going for that. They are not going for that. I don't expect them to go for it, at least anyway.
No.
He said, just fold, big, like a cheap contract. Hey, that's what I'm hoping we do. That's what I'm hoping we do.
Oh, yeah. I'm an Alabama fan all day long, but I try to give respect where it's due. But, yeah, if we fold him up like a cheap cherry, I'll be happy about it. But he's a great quarterback, so if we do that, I'll be impressed with our defense a lot more than I have been so far.
So I'm going to go to another question. Who for Alabama and Georgia are some of the players that you expect to be key into this game?
Well, as far as Alabama, it all runs through Milroe on offense to me. So if Milroe has a good game, I think Alabama has a win on their hands. I think he's got to be used, schemed up to run the ball a little bit, keep him honest, try to stretch him out. Hopefully we've got him to the point where we can use him in that short intermediate pass game a little bit. And I hope as far as practice, we've got him used to not having necessarily a clean pocket because Georgia's going to bring pressure. So can he continue to make plays where he climbs the pocket and throws guys open like he did against Wisconsin? He really impressed me against Wisconsin. I know Georgia ain't Wisconsin, but it was just the fact that Milroe, the pocket started to collapse. He climbs the pocket, throws a guy open instead of just panicking and running around. You know what I'm saying? That kind of stuff right there, I was really impressed with. 2-time coming out and 3-4 that morphs into 4-3. Hey, a lot of design, a lot of that man coverage design stuff too. I could see that where safeties on corners and man. You know, it's really hard to read some of that. And then you got disguise blitzes. You got shit. Georgia knows how to play defense. They don't need They don't need us to tell them how. But I agree with something that said when we rattled Beck last year, it was a game changer for us.
Yeah, most definitely. And with that being said,
but my defensive key, by the way, was Keon Sabb.
Oh yeah, oh hell
yeah.
And so
not only the 2 picks he had in week 1, but the way he's helped clean up the run game from the secondary, He's not got enough credit for the way he's played the run the last 2 weeks. He's really come up and made some great tackles. And a lot of people don't highlight that, but he's been all over the field for us. He's been a great acquisition. Sorry.
And it's crazy because I was talking to somebody about working about that. And I was talking about, man, Keon Sabb been doing that. He was like, well, I can tell people who watch football and just watch it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And he was like, well, Keon Sabb ain't really been doing that. I said, you are crazy as heck because what he been doing in the run game lately is freaking – I said, I don't even know how you don't see it if you don't even watch football on the level I watch it on. You cannot not see that. I said, he's been very key in the run game. And he still been having some of them.
Same with Malachi Moore. I've heard some other fans talking about they ain't seen enough out of Malachi Moore. Malachi Moore's been all over that freaking football field.
Hell
man.
Yeah.
He has been all over that football field. He looks like another linebacker out there.
Yes. But even with that being said, he still been having interceptions slip through his fingers a little bit too. So
yeah.
So for me, for Alabama, I don't know if you got no Georgia dudes, but for Georgia, I'm gonna go with Georgia first. For Georgia, I think it's the linebacker group, Michael Williams and what is it, C.J. Allen, and I forgot the other dude's name. I believe that linebacker crew is gonna be very critical to what Georgia is trying to do to Milroe. You know what I'm saying? I think that of course. And for me, on offense for Georgia, I'm still rolling with Nate Frazier, and I gotta say Beck Beck and
Yep.
Nate Frazier is gonna be the guy. And the reason I say Nate Frazier because I believe he's gonna be the one to give them the time of possession that they need to keep a Bama offense out of the field.
Keep us off balance.
But for Alabama
plays, yeah.
I
totally agree with you
for
because
Alabama, go ahead. My bad.
Oh man, my bad. I didn't mean to step on you.
No, go ahead. No, go. I want you to go.
As far as keys for Georgia, I would have to put. I'm picking both teams' quarterbacks offensively because I think if Beck has a good game for Georgia, if he's had a big statistical game, that means Georgia's run game was eaten too, because that's what gets the passing game going. So if he's had a big game, that means they've been able to run the ball.
Yeah, most definitely. But for me, for Alabama, I'm going offensive line. The interior offensive line for Alabama. Matter of fact, just the offensive line because offensive line is gone. This is what we wanted last year. Our offensive line played like we gave us so much that last year. I was so impressed with the way the offensive line played last season. But now we were returning 3 of the top 10 interior offensive linemen in the country. I think we really should be able to make something happen in the interior run game with quarterback runs or whatever. And one of the things I want to highlight too, before I move on, is our offensive line really actually fixed right now? We seen Proctor and Pritchett on the edges. It looked good against Wisconsin. But is it actually fixed? Don't know. So
don't know. That's true. Big question mark.
Yeah, for real. Still a big question. Yeah, it looked good then. We seen steps forward that game, but it was Wisconsin guys. And Georgia's gonna be the team that show if it's really what we want it to be. Pritchett gonna bully whoever, and that's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping
Pritchett's
Pritchett
a dog. Man, he's a dog.
I'm hoping Proctor has gotten better on really gotten better on that outside on the edges, bringing that pressure like that. I'm really hoping that. So I got to go offensive line, and I'm not going Jalen Milroe. For me, that's low hanging fruit because I know the offensive line. I'm going somebody like Kendra Law or Kobe Prentice in the tight ends, like somebody in that sort. You know what I'm saying?
That's good picks, man.
That's just my opinion because I believe really that the immediate throws, that pass game is going to have to be effective for Miro to get off like he wants to for a run game. Like Georgia coming, I know. And I know they ain't rocking with giving us that big playability jump. So we're going to have to, in order for the big plays to happen, we're going to have to get that run game going and get that going, intermediate throws going.
I agree 100%, man, especially when you take on the offensive line. Because if our O-line looks pretty good against Georgia, they'll look good against anybody in the country. Georgia's the best team, in my opinion. They're coached up about as well as anybody, year in and year out in the trenches on both sides of the ball. If you whip them on either side of the ball, you've done something. You got a good squad. So it'd be a great test. I can't wait to watch that chess match play out.
And on the defense side for me, for Alabama, is Malachi Moore, being a veteran, being somebody that played this game several times in his career, that leadership right there. And I got to go with my guy, LT Overton, because I think that's where their offensive line, I think it's going to be somebody new over there. I think that's what it hurt right there. And I expect LT Overton just to make plays, bro. I expect them to make plays in the run game, pass game, and but for me, it's Malachi Moore and LT Overton. Hey, this is time I want y'all to drop y'all score predictions in this game. Drop y'all score predictions for the game in the comments. So one more miscellaneous thing.
I'm reading something that King said in the chat, man. He done got me nervous over here. He said, not trying to throw any shade, but has anyone else noticed that everywhere that game day shows up, the home team is lost? You can throw rocks at me now. Oh, man, don't put that voodoo on us. Come on now. We
Hey,
Tennessee. We don't play y'all till later.
hey, and I'm gonna tell you this. I'm about to bring up some noise at a time. How do you feel about Donald Trump showing up to the game? And I'm saying this because he showed up to win our national championships. And I think that was the one Bo Scarborough broke his leg in. We lost. He showed up to the Alabama LSU game in Tuscaloosa.
And we lost. 29.
He ain't been no good luck for Alabama, baby.
But to be fair, that 2019 LSU offense was beating everybody. I mean,
yeah,
you know,
it was.
Oh, man. But yeah, man, as far as how I feel about it, you know me, I'm not political. I don't like politicians. As far as him showing up being a bit of a voodoo hex for us, because every time he shows up we lose. We're gonna buck that trend this year.
Yeah,
ain't worried about
it. It's funny that Ken said that, and that's the point I was bringing up about him coming to the game. He been bad luck for us at these damn games. Then the game they popping up too. Like
you remember when the trend? You remember when the trend was if the Heisman winner played in the national championship, the team always lost. And then Mark Ingram,
I remember that.
Buck that. So, trends are made to be broken.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And this Saturday, I think it'll happen, man. I think it'll happen.
Yeah, I've got faith in our squad. I know we're playing a great football team. I hope if nothing else, we learn something and improve from it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, most definitely.
I believe we've got the talent to win, but I know they got the talent to win too. Great coaches, great staffs, great universities. The two best teams in college football year in and year out. So, yeah, it's gonna be a hell of a game, man.
Well, Halen said, hell, he'll try to coach the game.
He ain't wrong. He ain't gonna be wrong. Some people say I'm a good coach. He might hit him with some of that.
And I'll be like, who?
What did you get his ass out of there?
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Hey, so before I ask you the last thing, is there anything else that you want to highlight and bring up? That I know you got a book full of notes over there, probably.
Oh man, we don't run through them because man, we shared a lot of the same ideas here. But one of the key things you said early in this show was getting off the field on third downs. Because if we don't eliminate those long drives and they control the tempo and the clock and they control kind of how the games go and make us play their style of football for 4 quarters, I mean, we're gonna have a long game. So yeah, we got to get off the field, man. We most definitely, and I want to see some creativity from both the offense and the defense. I want to see throwing a few different things, something Georgia hadn't seen in the film room yet.
Yeah,
and let's just see some create. I think we've got 2 of the more creative coaches as far as the defense coordinator and offense coordinator. Obviously, we're not going to throw every single thing we do out in the first 3 ball games, but I do want to see some creativity.
All right, Tom, man, I'm glad you came in. Thank you. He said the storm coming right over his property, and luckily we just been seeing the rain. So we just been seeing the rain, but man, yes, most definitely Sunday. I'll try to be back on Sunday, most definitely. But I'm like you, third down. Get off the field on third down. Get off. That is what I've been wanting to see. Time of possession on offense and get off the field on third down.
Yes, sir.
That's going to be key. So, my last thing before we moving on to these other ones. Score predictions in the chat. Y'all drop y'all score predictions. Please drop y'all score predictions. How do you predict this game going?
I hate doing score predictions. I know the shit gonna be wrong. Let's see. I'm gonna put it like this. I think Alabama's offense, if they expose some things and get some things going early, I think Alabama could win this one. I'm gonna go 35-21. I'm gonna go 30. Notice I didn't say 38 because I don't like kickers, so I try not to think about no 38 or 32. You know me, I don't like special teams like that. But I would love that. I think if our offense can get rolling, it's going to be hard to stop them if they get started. So that's where I'm going to go with. Ain't no disrespect to Georgia, but we got a lot of weapons to try to stop.
Yeah, most definitely. 45-24, boy, I like that.
I hope you're right. I hope you're right. I'll take Chris Camp's score too.
Hey, did you hear that one score prediction dude came on down last night and said, what he said, 45-0?
Oh, don't get me wrong. I would love that.
I'm like, shit.
But damn. I don't see it happening.
Oh, what my guy said, King Kirby 48, the boring 17, go dogs. Ooh, we'd be some highly pissed off Bama fans if that happened.
Damn, they ain't giving us 20 points. Damn. Come on now.
Wait to say 24-21. That's solid. UGA won't get 20 points. Be jamming 27-10. Bama, whoa.
Whoop.
Okay. See me, I had like more than like a 34-27 type. It'd be a close game because Georgia gonna give up their first touchdowns this game. But in the end, I think our run game, Bama Talk got 20-17 Alabama. What Steven
that's a smart pick. That one, Waylon's pick, Kent's pick, pretty realistic. Same with yours, within a touchdown. Yeah. That's the smart money to me. That's usually how they play out.
And I just think with Bama, like you said, I think we got a little bit more weapons. Georgia got them dudes. They got dudes, but we got a little bit more weapons that it's going to cause this game. I do think we see drives with times of possession because you brought up early in the show. Last year during the SEC Championship, different game, different team this year. Yep. The last position from Jalen Milroe was what we needed. And I think we see more of that play with the offense that's catered to Milroe this season. I think we see more of that play. I think we do see Kendra Law be our Isaiah Bunn. Not just no eye-popping stats-wise, but as far as what he does on the field and put us in situations to extend drives. And I think we do see some great things out of our tight end group and the running back duo we got. I think Justice Hayes will help us with time and possession. And I think at the right time, Jam Miller will be there for the explosive stuff. Whether it's a pass out the backfield or a big explosive run. Like I said, 34-27, that's my score prediction.
And I agree with you, Bama Talk, to a point. It says Vegas don't lose money, and they say less than a touchdown. And you're probably right, unless it's Florida State games, and they've lost money a couple times this year. They lost money a couple times on that. They've made it back on others. I know they don't take a loss, but yeah. That shit was crazy at the beginning of the year, man. Ain't nobody thought that was going to play out like it did.
Man, no. I'm like, Florida State, what are y'all doing? And I'm such a bad fan. I wanted it to get worse.
Same.
I wanted it to get worse.
I'm just like, hey, I ain't above all of it. I'll tell you that right now. Sometimes I'm like on Dave Chappelle. I'm trying to get in the haters club, man. I'm telling you right now. I hate on Florida State because of the fan base last year. I hate on Auburn all the time because I hate Auburn. So it's like that.
Especially where I live at. I'm in Phoenix City, bro. I'm 30 minutes away from Auburn.
Yep.
Oh my God.
It's beauty.
I'm telling you, my son had murder on his mind just because they were playing Auburn Middle School. Just because of Auburn. He said, I got murder on my mind. But, this is one of the favorite part of the shows that I like. How much more time you got?
I got as much time as we need, bro.
All right. I want to talk about some of these games.
Oh, I can't wait, man. We got a loaded weekend. We got the best game possibly of the year between Bama and Georgia, and then we got some more. We got some more good games this weekend. I'm telling you, right, if you're a fan of college football, it's another solid week right here.
And like I said, a lot of these games, they football game. They football. If you're a football head, you love these games, man. Some of the casuals, they just care about whatever. And I get it. I'm a football guy, so. But my first one Friday night, I forgot to mention this one: Miami versus Virginia Tech. I think that's a good game for a Friday night.
Yeah, I do too.
How you feel about that one?
We know how good Miami is. We know how good Cam Ward is. But does this not kind of feel like one of them sleepy Friday night games where Miami plays down to the competition just a little bit? Because Virginia Tech's played awful this year. Let's just be upfront about it. But does this not feel like one of them games?
Yeah, it does.
Miami still wins, but it gets kind of close. Now, I ain't calling that because I wouldn't bet on that game for nothing. Because I think Miami's like 17.5-point favorite. But Miami's good for one of them a year, it feels like.
And would this be the one? Because, we talk about Virginia Tech. Virginia Tech was, and you mentioned on one of the shows, that was a dark horse.
Yes.
For the ACC, man.
Dude, they fell off. They've been a bunch of ACC teams. NC State, good Lord. That's been a train wreck ever since. They were, what were they at one point? They had them like top 15.
Yeah, man.
They crapped out.
Yeah, that was. Hey, man, a lot of these teams have been kind of disappointing this year. What's going on, Roll Tide? King said, go Mississippi State. ACC looking top notch.
Yeah, can you hold up? Because I know we didn't get to do a recap show last week. We didn't do no shows last week.
Yeah,
we didn't even get to talk about North Carolina and James Madison.
That quarterback lit it up. That's what I'm gonna say.
I'm telling you right now, if I'm Mac Brown, I'd have went in at halftime. I'd have got my shit and I'd have left.
Oh yeah, I definitely would have retired.
I'm done. I'm done. I proved my point. I won a title at Texas in 05. I'm out of here. The hell with that. Ain't no way. James Madison putting 70 on me.
Hey, real talk. I thought it was. I would have left it at. I would have just stayed retired. Honestly, if I was Matt Brown,
I would have had to.
I would have stayed retired. I mean, I know he came back.
He hurt his legs
first. Yeah, man. Yeah, seriously, bro. He's got my man Bemertal said they still scored up North Carolina. I forgot the stat line. I had the stat line. I forgot the stat line the quarterback had, but he balled out. And it's just crazy that when you got quarterbacks, ain't James Madison in North Carolina?
I'll be honest with you, I don't know.
Don't know.
I really don't.
It's crazy that quarterbacks like that.
Yeah, how you get blowed out scoring 50, dog? How the hell does that even work? How do you score 50 and get blowed out?
You scored 50 and got blowed out.
I'm telling you right now, I'd have went out in that box and I'd have drug that damn defense coordinator out on live TV. I'd have went out with a bang, dog. That'd have been my last game, but I'm taking him with me. Ain't no way.
Because in the end, motherfucker, I got to take the heat for all this shit.
Yeah, at the end of the day, it all goes at my feet. All the blame if I'm head coach. Yeah. Oh, man. That was crazy work.
So then you got Washington. I ain't really concerned about Washington versus Rutgers. Rutgers, this is like a 2-point favorite to win that game, actually. The over-under is 45. That's the 45. I know Rutgers balled out last year in that bowl game, but
dude, their coach ain't a guy a lot of people like. He can be an asshole, but this is his second revival of the Rutgers. He left, went and did his thing, come back, and now he's starting to build the Rutgers up again. And my hat's off to him, man, because that's not a program we think a lot about. They were an early power back in the early 1900s.
Yeah.
they fell off for a long time, and he had built them up left and come back, and he's doing it again. They're playing pretty solid football. I expect them to beat Washington.
Okay. I know I was about to, I picked Miami, whatever, because I do this little thing with the dude at work. We only bet like 25 cents because I ain't no rich man. I'm not a gambler or no rich man, but my guy, he a gambler. That's my homie, so I do it with him. He's like, we just do 25 cents. I said, I do 25 cents. I picked Miami, but when I picked Miami, I was like, oh, shit, this seems like one of them fucking Fridays that
It does, man. I know
wrong.
Miami, but something feels wrong. I don't know what it is.
I was about to pick this Washington and Rutgers game, but I'm like, I want to go with Rutgers. I just left it alone. But I was really leaning Rutgers on that bad boy. But
yeah, they're playing good ball.
Yeah, they are. I remember seeing them last year. They played tough. I think they played Miami tough or something. I don't know if they beat Miami or whatever, but they played Miami tough last year. I remember just seeing them last year. They played a couple teams, like putting that thing on a couple teams, man. But Ole Miss and Kentucky. Kentucky had a hell of a game the other week.
They did. They played their ass off. I don't expect the same result.
So what?
I don't expect the same result. Ole Miss plays a different style of football. You know, they're going to get the ball into the skill players' hands, and they're going to run all over the field, stretch you out thin, and Kentucky just ain't got skill players to do it. I would love to see a good battle because I'm still curious about Ole Miss's trenches, their offensive defensive line, because that will be what sets them apart from Ole Miss of last year, because that's where they predominantly got whipped last year. So I'm curious to see if a lot of those transfers have paid off. You know, they haven't been tested yet. So, but yeah, you got to think Ole Miss. I think they're 16-point favorite. I agree with it. You know, Kentucky's just one of them teams that's got Georgia's number. I don't expect them to really against Ole Miss.
And I'll talk about Jackson Dart. Jackson Dart been playing lights out so far this year too, man.
Yes, he has.
I just don't. I'm like you with you on that. I don't see Kentucky bringing that same type of intensity about Georgia. Like you said, Georgia and Kentucky, two different styles of football, and the way Georgia play football, the style of Georgia football that they play, just it just helped out Kentucky a lot. That bring more intensity, but Kiffin gonna be running and gunning on their ass, man. And if Georgia were to play Kentucky 30 more times, they'll still win, but the score would be a whole lot worse. I'm just letting Kentucky fans know that.
I got a question for you, and I ain't trying to jump ahead because I know you got a list of games you're going by here. But I got to get this off my chest.
Go ahead.
What's going to catch more smoke? Auburn's secondary against Oklahoma, or Hugh Freeze himself, because he's getting burnt every which way but loose through the media right now. You got Bo Wallace coming out talking about him. You've got Lane Kiffin. Then you got Lane Kiffin coming out saying, hey, he tried to steal our coach, Pete Golden. I think everybody assumes. And, you know, now he may try to steal our guy that's running our NIL funds. Man, everybody got smoke for Hugh Freeze right now. And I love it.
But you know what, man? Auburn fans, they believe in the Freeze right now, bro.
He's pretty much laid out it's going to be a 3-year rebuild. But me and you both know they so far so good in recruiting right now. They've made some noise. But if their success continue, or if they continue on the trajectory they've started at this 2-2 season right now, and they're lucky to be 2-2. If they continue this, do you think they sign most of them recruits? Or
most definitely not.
That NIL money ain't that deep. It can't be.
Matter of fact, I didn't say it when I was doing the visit. Anquan Fagans, he committed to Auburn, but he gonna be down in Tuscaloosa. I still don't automatically weigh him out of this recruiting class neither.
You can't, man. You can't. We all like try to predict these guys, but man, you can't never tell where these young guys are going. And now you've got all these quote unquote street agents getting these guys' ears now. and promise on the moon, and they end up you can't forecast some of these guys. I'm telling you, the NIL really changed the way recruiting.
Hey man, I'm
so
gonna veer off a lot right now.
Hey, veer off.
Hey, what's up with this NIL crap? Bear Alexander, he the red shirted. I know it's probably some NIL crap. Marco, the UNLV guy, like what the freak, man?
All right, I'm gonna go on and say it. UNLV, of course. What's his name? Sakura, something like that. Whatever I can't remember. Anyways, from everything I have seen, the NIL deal, UNLV had done the right thing, and he was basically holding them hostage for more money, allegedly. Now, I that's what I'm seeing.
Yeah.
If that's true, I'd kick his ass off that team so damn fast. He ain't even completing 50% of his passes right now. Don't act like you're the whole reason they're 3-0 or 4-0 right now.
Yeah, stop really, because
really. How you gonna look at men in the eyes in the locker room and be like, I ain't playing if I don't get another $200,000 or $300,000? Get your ass out of here. Forget all that. I understand if contractually we made an agreement, I want my money up front. You said $100,000 to come here. That's great. Nobody talks about the fact he come out of Holy Cross and nobody wanted him. Yeah. He gets onto this program that was moving in the right direction off a 10-win season last year. And Odom's a hell of a coach. And you get to be part of something bigger than you here. You get to make a name for yourself here. And now you're going to try to hold him hostage. If that's really what's going on, he wouldn't play another snap for me. And then they have a full-speed running back, something like that. Now he's threatening to sit out. Then you've got the Bear situation you're talking about. Now, I'm just going to tell you, he's a shitbird from way back, from what I've heard. I heard he came to Georgia, backed out, recommitted. Then he wants to jump over to USC. Man, I wouldn't have time for this guy, man. I'm not putting up with that. Guys like him give good kids a bad name. Yeah, fact, man. There's too much good talent coming out of high school every year. Good, and you can plug and play. Alabama and Georgia both have plugged and played and got great athletes to supplement their teams this year. But, dude, I ain't putting up with it. I would not put up with that. Until the NCAA and the coaches get together and take a stand and try to get something going here where contractually you don't get paid until you've done something, first of all. I think your money should be put in a collective for you at the end of your career. Because we're putting 17, 18, 19-year-old kids in Lamborghinis with thousands of dollars of money in their pockets and they're heroes on college campuses. And we're expecting them to do good. I couldn't have done it. Give me a Lambo at 18 years old with a pocket full of money. I'd have been in the newspaper talking about crashed and dead. It'd been over for me, man. I would have not been mature enough to handle all that. I would not have been. I'll be the first one to tell you I wouldn't have been. So, when are the adults going to be in the room? When are the adults going to be in the room? I blame the parents who are looking for the bag and not the most successful long term. I blame them. I blame these so-called street agents that are getting involved with these guys, these 7-on-7 merchants that go town to town all but adopt these kids and promise them the moon and make them make stupid mistakes and put their career. People don't talk about the guys that have threatened places like North Carolina State and then nobody takes them. That happened last year. That guy ain't playing college football anymore. Nope. Wrong people can screw your career over, dude. And there's a lot of shady people because the parents don't understand. They just hear the money sign. They don't hear
that's all I hear the dollar
that's all they hear. And even the parents is not trying to get the money for themselves. They just think about, $100,000 for my son. That ain't life-changing money. It's a lot of money. No. I'd love to have $100,000. You can't live the rest of your life off $100,000. You can't. No. One-time $100,000? No. So when are the adults going to come in the room and the coaches and the NCAA get together, educate the parents that are coming in, have conferences for these parents, ban these agents because they ain't. I heard Drew Rosenhaus has been hanging out in Miami. The agent to the stars in the NFL. Well, he's going to get involved with these college kids. Well, they're going to start holding out, wanting more money. You remember the Terrell Owens situation?
Yeah.
He orchestrated that. That's what we're going to start seeing here. And I can just tell you straight up, if we start having guys holding out of the playoffs, and I think it's coming, they're going to want to blackmail these teams and be like, hey, we're in the playoffs, but if you don't give me a couple more $100,000, I'll sit this playoff game out.
The other day,
when that happens, college football, we know it's done. They will have to either implement a free agency style system and go to the NFL type way, or they'll have to completely stop it altogether, because that right there will ruin college football. And I'm for these kids getting paid, but you need to put that money in a way where they can only get so much of it out, man.
Yes, that's facts, man.
We're not setting them up for success. They're jumping school to school to school. They're not getting good coaching at some places. All they see is the money. So now they're not thinking long-term NFL or thinking about their education outside of football, setting them up long-term. Football's not forever. The NFL success rate is low.
Very low.
And even if you make it, most guys don't make it past 2.5 years. You're not going to make enough money off most rookie contracts in 2.5 years to live the rest of your life. So you needed that education to fall back on. Well, man, these guys ain't getting it. They're jumping school to school to school. They're bad technique. And if you watch enough NFL right now, the quarterback plays trash, and there's a lot of reasons for that.
Yeah. Hey, so today I was talking to my son. I said, man, y'all soft as hell. Because I was just talking about, because I was messing with him. I said, put on some shorts. We're going to go outside in the rain and train a little bit. He's like, for real? I said, man, y'all soft. He was up with it. But I said, I'm saying that it's soft as a whole. From middle school to the college level now.
Yes.
I said, y'all cancel practice when it rains. Y'all cancel games when it rains. Not lightning, but rains. I said, y'all do not go full pads in practice no more. From middle school to high school, they don't go full practice. They don't even tackle in practice no more. I said, and all that is showing in the NFL game, the lack of quarterback play, like you said, the lack of tackling, the lack of just straight up development through all this soft stuff that has been going on that I see firsthand now, actually, from middle school to the big level now. Like, seriously, that is all due to that now. It's crazy.
Look at the NFL preseason. It's such a joke now. Sometimes you never see starters play in the preseason. Then they get out there. They have no callus build up. They're not getting used to getting hit early. You put them in a big game, concussions left and right, left and right. You're seeing guys, hamstring injuries are at an all-time high. ACL injuries are at an all-time high. And the more, we're going to ban the drop-down tackle. We're going to ban this. It ain't stopping it. The injuries are because they're not getting hit enough. Miami prides themselves, the Dolphins, on a lot of no-contact practices. Well, dog, you ain't doing them no favor. You got to build that callus up over the year. And when you get to the game, you're used to the contact. You're not doing these guys no justice like this, man.
Nah, man.
But nobody wants to be the adult in the room and step up and say, look, this is what worked for football and this is what don't work for football. You know, I'm concerned about injuries too, man. I don't like seeing these guys get hurt. But sometimes contact in practices and scrimmage games is better for you than just going into it blind.
Yeah, fact.
Gets guys hurt, man. We've seen more injuries over the first 3 weeks of the NFL the last 2 years than we had ever seen in the NFL previously.
Yep.
There's something to that, man.
Yep. It's a fact, man. Like I said, I see it firsthand. Like I said, this is why the NFL play is like it is now. I said, because y'all are canceling practice because of rain. Y'all are not tackling in practice. You get in the game and realize, oh, he hustles and get to the ball of practice, but he can't tackle. You find it out in the game that he can't tackle.
Hey, me and you talked about this a little bit. If you notice too, like the NFL numbers right now, through the first 2 weeks, the NFL numbers in 2019, it was 105 passing touchdowns. 2020, 2021, it was 110. 2022, it was 105. Last year, it was 86. This year, it's 69. Was through the first 2 weeks of passing touchdown. There's a big difference in them last two numbers.
That's
And
a big gap there.
the league is more geared to offense now than it ever has been.
Yeah.
The calls are geared towards the offense. The field's been opened up for the offense.
The rule changes.
The rules have made it easier to be an all. Can you imagine Jerry Rice in a wide open middle of the field back in the day?
Oh my God.
You can't touch his records now. I can't imagine then. But you sit there and you do all this and the numbers drop. And you're like, okay, so what is it? Well, it's the development of the quarterbacks. I put a lot of it on these 7-on-7 drills. I always have. You get them out there in a time and they give them, 4 to 5 seconds to throw the ball.
Yeah.
Well, that ain't realistic, first of all.
Nope.
You playing a shitty ass team.
Sometimes
throw the ball.
Sometimes your offensive line don't even give you a second and a half. Sometimes your offensive line give you a second and a half to throw the ball.
I think the NFL average is 2.25.
God damn.
So you're developing this. You got them out there with no pass rush in their face. They're not getting hit none. And they're just running around throwing it. And like we've talked about before, I don't give a damn who your DBs are. You can pick every Hall of Famer of all time. If they ain't got nobody getting pressure on the quarterback, people will get open on them. So it's teaching the quarterback absolutely nothing. Because in the NFL back in the day, you threw the ball to get a receiver open. A lot of people don't understand what that means.
Yep.
You didn't throw it to the open receiver because you didn't have a lot of wide open receivers in the NFL because the talent gap is tight. You had to throw guys open. That's where your Marinos, your Elways set themselves apart from other guys like that.
Yep.
And if you watch even the Chiefs this year, they're 3-0, but Patrick Mahomes has looked pedestrian a lot of time this year.
They've been looking good. It's been a tough 3-0.
Exposed, dude. They're getting exposed. Everybody's putting their double covering Travis Kelce, and they're like, go ahead and beat us.
Yep.
That's you get enough. I've always heard it said. If you give an NFL defensive coordinator a year to a year and a half of tape on somebody, they will stop it. They will expose anything. So, football's suffering for a lot of things right now. I still love the game, but it's suffering.
Yeah, I agree. I agree, man. I agree 100%. This year, I have not been that interested in the NFL. I'll go watch that find long highlights and watch them, but it's just not my biggest thing right now like it used to be. And I used to love NFL, bro. I used to love NFL.
Well, look at you got Joe Burrow, you got Dak Prescott, you got Lamar Jackson. And you can name more. That's nearly $1 billion worth of contracts right there, and about 2 wins between all 4 of them.
That's crazy.
They're throwing money at these quarterbacks left and right, but they ain't getting results. And I'm like, this is crazy. Y'all got to go back to running the fucking football a little bit, man.
Yeah. And
when I was growing up, there was that dominant running back that you hated to see or you loved to see, depending on the team.
Yeah.
When Eddie George come to town, he was a big, solid running back. He was going to beat on your defense all game long. Barry Sanders was quick and shifty, and he was going to open the game up in a different way, and he was untouchable nearly. There was different styles, but the running game set the pace, and we've gotten away from it. We're running high school offenses. I ain't trying to crash high school, but we're running high school offenses, dude.
And why are we running high school offenses?
Because the quarterbacks are underdeveloped and they've been running that from school and college. Yes. 100%. And it's a shame because I put that on the coaches because those guys in college, a lot of them, they're just taking the easy route. They don't want to teach these guys that they're getting so many of these guys that in high school ball, they don't know what a 5-step drop is. They don't know what an 8-step drop is. They don't know how to throw them in, zoom them ends in. They don't know how to do all that stuff, man. And I mean, I understand, but the game's suffering because of it. And then you got stupid people on ESPN, I ain't gonna name their names, wanting to ban the cover 2.
Why?
because they said that's the reason that more teams are running cover 2 now than ever before, and that's why you're not seeing as much yards per attempt and yards per completion and as many touchdowns in the NFL. And I'm like,
So
if cover 2 been around longer than I have.
yeah, that was my Buck special. That was the Buck special.
Tony Dungy made a living off of it. It was the Tampa 2. Him and Lane Kiffin's dad, Monty Kiffin.
Monty Kiffin, yup.
Yes. Dude, they were running versions of the cover 2 since the 50s. Like, I don't know who these ESPN people are, but they clearly ain't never played football because they don't know what you're talking about. And guess what? You want to beat the cover 2, especially the 2 high safety, you throw short and intermediate, and you run the ball. That'll beat it all game long.
All damn day.
Just solve your problems for you. That's what I'm saying, man. This shit's stupid.
The running back position has been so undercherished lately. And
they don't want to pay them no more.
And we got a kid that played for my son's team. Hell of a guy. Dude, fast as shit. He running back. And I told him, I said, hey, bro, get your hands game on point. I said, honestly, if I was you, I'd think about moving to the slot. I said, honestly. I'd think about moving to the slot. But if you're going to continue to run the ball, get your hands together. Be that running back who can line up out the backfield and catch passes out the backfield. I said, because they cherish that more than dude that I said, Black Crum, he was a hell of a running back, but he got drafted in the 3rd round. I said, that's how much they care less about a damn running back who can just run the ball.
Alvin Kamara is who you should try to model your game after in today's NFL.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I said, why does Jahmyr Gibbs get drafted in the 1st round? Because he can line up in the slot position and catch it out the backfield, bro. He can do it all.
Is Derrick Henry not proof to you that you can still run the ball and be physical?
Derrick Henry been proving that shit.
He assaulted the Cowboys last weekend, and not enough people were talking about it. He was literally pushing them around. And they got a converted defensive end at fullback, and the Ravens just lined up and said, you know what? We're going to give Lamar break this week, and we're going to run the ball. And you get in 12 personnel right now, you can beat the NFL. Linebackers are undersized. They're great athletes, but most of them are
small because they're trying to cover the pass. They're small, they're trying to protect the pass.
You give the Chargers another year of what they're trying to do right now.
They're going to fucking run it up.
They're going to run it up because, man, they've got big, solid fullbacks.
J.K. Dobbins then came back to life up under Harbaugh. I know people don't like Harbaugh, but goddamn it, I don't give a damn. The offense is so damn effective when you got dudes that know how to that can run it, and you got a coach that knows exactly what he want to do. J.K. Dobbins' life career has been revived since that dude got with the Chargers, bro.
Yep. And you know what the main difference was and why the Ravens had a drop off? That offensive coordinator. He's at the Chargers now.
Talking about that Georgia OC.
Yeah, he's a hell of a damn OC, man. Hit that power game he schemed up, made the Ravens nearly a Super Bowl a couple years ago. And when he left, I was sad. I'll tell you straight up.
I got
not the one they've got now, but the guy that was previously he used Lamar the best way. He was like, you know what? He can throw the ball good, but he's an incredible athlete. Let's put that first. There ain't no shame in that.
And the Ravens coach, the other Harbaugh, he had made a comment after a loss they had. He said, we didn't get Derrick Henry to give him the ball 25 times a game or something like that. He said, we got him for Lamar. I said, why the fuck would you get a Derrick Henry if that's not your damn plan? I said, because you can do that. And guess what? You did it last week. Look, you did it last week, and Lamar still got off in the run game.
Yes. You give that damn sledgehammer 25 damn touches a game, he's going to break loose. Nobody wants to tackle him. And you got the godfather of the SEC over here naming some big dogs, too. Ickey Woods, Mercury Morris, R.I.P. He just passed away today. Larry Zonka, I mean, and he mentioned Walter Payton.
I love that guy.
Walter Payton was probably him or Jim Brown, you know, take your pick, were the greatest running backs of all time. And you don't get to see that no more because now we use multiple backs. This guy gets 8 carries. This guy gets 7 carries. This guy gets 8 carries. Well, they don't get to get in the game long enough to get hot, man.
This is the only way you can right now because I have my chance I can monetize it, but I haven't done that part yet. So you can donate. So that's why I got the Cash App over there. But it's all good it's all good if you don't have Cash App. I appreciate it anyway, bro. I
Yeah, man, we
appreciate it anyway.
here.
I really appreciate it anyway.
I'm glad he can't get paid too much. People be paying to tell me shut up. You know, I get long winded sometimes.
Yeah, for real though. Though I said when we went on the $10, I know I'm about to veer off now. Because I'm talking about stuff I want to. I'm talking about stuff I want to talk about.
It just bothers me, man. It bothers me to see the game go the way it's going. Because me and you grew up in really the last golden era of the NFL. That 95 to 2010 era right there. You know, we still had Marino and Elway. We had Emmitt Smith, Marshall Faulk. We still got to see good defenses played. You know, the Ravens put together good defenses, the Steelers. You had a good mix of everything. You had that basketball on grass type offense that the Rams used to run with Kurt Warner.
That was nice.
Torrey Holt. You had the Buccaneers who were going to throw it a ton, but their defense just run everybody over, and Warrick Dunn was getting things done. And I mean, you just had nice. It wasn't a copycat league back then like it is now. If one team has a little bit of success doing something, 31 other teams copy them right now.
You want to do the same damn thing. Exactly.
Yes.
Like, and talk about running backs. It was so many running backs back in the day. I talk about Robert Smith from the Vikings. Robert Smith wasn't that just the biggest household name at running back, but Robert Smith was a tough runner. He got a job done, bro. Aikman, Smith, Irvin, man, let's talk about it for real.
Yeah, dude, that 90s team, and if Jerry Jones would have known how to get out of his own way, that it still had Jimmy Johnson, they'd probably won 3 more Super Bowls.
Yeah, for real.
That's the truth. Now Jerry Jones is worried about trying to measure dudes' meat. You hear about that?
Nah, they tripping. I didn't hear about that, but just the day I stopped playing the Cowboy.
I'm telling you right now, I'd have put my shit down and said, "Y'all trade me."
Y'all tripping. They tripping for that. But they got to do it anything.
Dude, I ain't got a damn clue about it. You gotta worry about some of these billionaires, man. They into some weird shit sometimes. I'm just telling you.
Oh, yeah. Hey, though, a lot of the Diddy stuff coming out and stuff. I said, but I've been saying years ago about, I think just people with a lot of money, like normal stuff is not fun to them no more. They have to take it like I said, I don't see me being that way. You know what I'm saying? If I got a lot of money, but normal stuff is just not on their level no more. They got to go the extra route and do some wild shit.
Well, that's because people like us had to get it out of the mud growing up. We didn't have no money.
Yeah, right.
So, we come by things different way. We all right way we living right now. Don't get me wrong. Being rich would be great. But hell, I know things can be a lot worse too. But yeah, them billionaires are weird, son. There's a lot of, we ain't heard the last of that shit either. People think it's just the Epsteins and the PD.
Nope. It be other motherfuckers that be got down that shit.
Yes. And I'm telling you right now, you ever watch Jaguar Wright? You know who she is? She was an artist back in the day. She's associated
right now.
Dude, you go back and watch some of her videos. She's exposed other people too. Now I'm just waiting on it because she's batting about like Cat Williams. She ain't missed all year.
I've been saying that, girl.
Cat Williams been trying to tell everybody. Nobody won't listen to him. Everybody calls it crazy, but nobody ever calls him a liar. That's all I'm saying.
That's a fact. Oh, Jerome, but we ain't gonna talk about the Steelers. What they used to, man, what the Steelers used to display, man, that joint used to be crazy, bro.
I'm gonna tell you right now, I became a Ravens fan in 1995. It was the first draft I ever watched. I was 6 years old, and I remember we drafted. What was that big tackle's name? He's a Hall of Famer now. Come out of Ohio State, I think. I think it was Ohio State. Anyways, it was him and Ray Lewis in the same round, 2 Hall of Famers. Yeah, hard to replicate that success. But I became a Ravens fan that day because they said Ozzie Newsome was the GM, and I knew he was an Alabama player.
Yeah.
So that was my team. And man, we had to go up against the Steelers twice a year, every year, because they were in the same division. That damn Jerome Bettis and that defense, Kevin Green. People sleep on Kevin Green. He's one of the
Kevin
greatest
Green.
sacks
Hey,
all time. And played for
Kevin
Auburn.
Green with that dude, bro. Kevin
Man,
Green.
he used to piss me off, man. Because Ravens ain't never had a good quarterback, in my opinion, really, up until Lamar Jackson. We always run the ball, play good defense.
Yeah, my homeboy here
got Steve McNair for a couple years before his untimely death. So that ain't really fair to say because McNair was a hell of a player.
Yeah,
but,
facts.
But Joe Flacco got lucky 1 year, made some money off of it. But, man, shit. Oh, they said Bo Jackson was everybody. Hey, another Auburn player, but I can't hate on him. One of the greatest athletes to ever walk this earth.
Hey, some of the guys, man, you like, how in the, hey, some of the guys, you be like, how in the hell you because I think is he from Bessemer or something like that shit?
Yeah. Him and Charles Barkley, like, man. They both went to Auburn at the same time.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, dude, Bo Jackson is the greatest what would have been in NFL history because that hip injury took him out like 4 or 5 years in.
Yep. Hey man, so when my son had a hip injury, I always think about this. I always think about the worst shit. With Kyle, like, man, that hip shit injured the series, and he was walking crazy for a while too. I'm like, man, we did all the shit all season. The hip injury, I said. My mind thing, I said, you ain't getting back on the field until you get cleared. Like, goddamn, like, I don't give a damn, bro, because that hip shit serious. And this just A-grade football. I don't need you to goddamn make no long term. But the doctor said it was a normal the hip injury was a normal thing when the kid's still growing or what. I said, cool. I said, cool. But, man, yeah, that hip injury, Bo Jackson was supposed to be that dude in both sports.
He would have been
in both sports.
And the same with Herschel Walker. Herschel just ended up in some bad teams when he went pro, and he was still getting it done. A lot of people talk about when the Cowboys traded him for like 5 or 7 picks from the Vikings 1 year to draft. But people forget how good he was. Herschel Walker was the man back in the day. One of the greatest. I remember watching him have an MMA fight a couple years ago in his 50s, and he was in better shape in his 50s than I've ever been in my entire damn life.
Hey, bro, when I seen this shit, I'm like, ain't no way.
By the way, Michelle Cochran up here said Jaguar been talking for years along with Wendy Williams. Wendy Williams has too. That's why she don't have a radio show no more. She said too much. She said too much about Diddy one day, and they canceled her ass.
I remember when she had a radio show. I was in 7th grade. We used to ride the bus, and the shit I used to didn't like her because I wasn't paying attention to what she said. I just thought she got on the radio and talk shit about people. But as I got older, I was like, oh, she said some real shit. She said some real stuff.
Yeah, you can't say too much real stuff in Hollywood. That'll disappear your ass.
Nah.
Man, we got some good comments going here too. Earl Campbell, good God, man.
Embarrassing.
Derrick Henry is the closest thing we've seen to Earl Campbell in a long time in the last few years, but he ain't even Earl. Earl Campbell was in a class by himself.
They got Terrell Davis. I want to talk about Terrell Davis.
That was a sad career.
Yeah. The reason I like this Terrell Davis thing, because I talk about special teams. I had a special team podcast because special teams are part of the game we don't talk about enough. And I tell these kids now, learn how to play special teams. Special teams will be the reason why you make an NFL roster or why you not make an NFL roster. Terrell Davis, we all know, is a running back, came from Georgia. But how did he get his reps at running back? Going down on special teams, making tackles. That's how he got noticed by them coaches. So by him putting that hustle on special teams, he started getting his reps in that running back because of special teams. And
same with Shannon Sharp.
Yeah.
He made a name for he come out of Savannah State, was a wide receiver. Too slow to be a wide receiver in the NFL. So they put him at tight end. He's a little undersized. Hell of a route runner. He worked special teams for a hot minute till they had some injuries that tied in. He come in and did his thing, made a name for himself. But yeah, man, you've got to be able to be multifunctional to make a name for yourself. Sometimes the path ain't always easy.
Yeah, facts, most definitely. But hey, you want to talk about some more of these games, man? Or
yeah, man, let's breeze through them real quick. Then I gotta get me about to eat.
Yeah, me too. Hey, you can go ahead and name some guys you want to talk about.
Let me get them pulled up here real quick. All right. Oklahoma State ranked number 20 versus Kansas State ranked number 23.
Yeah, I was just looking at that one as well.
I'm curious about this game. I feel like Kansas State can beat them. I think Oklahoma State, a couple games from now, they're not going to be a ranked team anymore. I don't know their schedule. I hadn't dove that deep into it, but to me, they play pretty damn awful. They got one of the best running backs in the game, and they really don't know how to get it to him. They've got a couple 5-6-year seniors on the offensive line. They got like a super senior at quarterback, and I'm like, how the hell y'all should be a top 5 team with all that? That don't even make sense to me. Kind of like when what was that quarterback's name? Was it Georgia when they beat us for the national title a couple years ago? Yeah, man. I mean, he'd been in the game a while and worked his way up. He played football a long time, and his experience showed. You know, he didn't have the greatest arm we've ever seen. He wasn't a super athlete, but his knowledge and the fact that he'd been there a long time and balled in, it made a difference. He had a hell of a run. So who you got in that game? Kansas State's favored by 5.
I got Kansas State. But my concerns is the quarterback. I like the quarterback they got, but does he keep it all the way together? Does he keep it together? And does Oklahoma State find a way to use this running back with this freaking stacked offensive line they got? You know what I'm saying? But I got Kansas State, man. I really think Kansas State pulled it off. And we ain't talking about Oklahoma State no more after this week, man.
I'm tired of talking about it, to be honest with you. I'll tell you one more game I see here that nobody's talking about. Number 22, BYU versus Baylor. And the spread's got Baylor favored by 3.
Ooh.
I don't think so. I don't think they put enough respect on BYU. That was a team that got picked to win like 2 games. And they have found a way to win every ball game. And they're scrappy. And I watched Baylor with some of the worst pass defense I have ever seen in my damn life last week against Colorado. Whoever told them 2 guys, the 2 safeties in the back, to stand in the back of the end zone instead of on the goal line to defend a Hail Mary should be fired. That's grade school stuff, man. You learn that in Pee Wee football. Come on now.
Like, come on, bro. Like, come on. That's serious. And we talked about that too. Like, sometimes I don't know what these head coaches be thinking about. Like,
they overthink it.
Coached at this level.
They overthink it, and analytics is another one. I left analytics out when I was bitching about what's killing football. Analytics is killing football. Good coaches became great by the decisions they lived and died with on the field, and we've taken that away from the game.
Yeah. Lane Kiffin lost a couple of goddamn games to Alabama listening to some damn analytics. What the fuck?
Yeah. Dumb shit.
It's obvious you should punt the ball right now, sir. I don't give a damn what the analytics say.
What games what you got pulled up right here?
What the hell I was looking at? Oh fuck, the Notre Dame game. Oh no, I want to talk about damn, I can't find it. Who the hell Colorado play? Colorado versus UCF.
UCF ain't getting no respect right now.
They're not.
They're not getting no respect right now, dude. KJ Jefferson.
They run the ball well.
We watched KJ at Arkansas. He's a Cam Newton light. He's not as great a thrower as Cam. He's a physical body that can run the ball. You remember how Saban was bragging on him after the Arkansas game last year. You remember that interview? He was talking about 3 or 4 guys hitting him, can't take him down. He's a physical cat. Yep. Now, Colorado's got a good linebacker core. They don't get talked about a lot, but Colorado's actually got some good linebackers. Where they're hurting is the other side of Travis Hunter And at the D line, man, if you ain't got a good D line against that, maybe a long day for you.
Yeah. But and I'm gonna say this: Colorado's strength right now is passing the ball. That's UCF weakness. They're giving up a lot of passing yards. So
and that's one of the best wide out cores in the country at Colorado right now. I know we all like to hate on them and talk shit because they like to say dumb shit sometimes. Dion always wants the bright lights on them, but truth's the truth. That quarterback receiving core ain't no joke. They're talented. So that's gonna be an interesting almost an air raid type offense versus what UCF's doing and trying to run the ball and be big bullies on offense. That's gonna be an interesting conflict there.
Yeah. Because I believe I believe UCF can do what they're trying to do. And also, it's going to be crazy because I believe Colorado going to be able to do what they do. Because, like I said, that's what they lack at in the pass defense. That's what UCF lack at. But
it's going to be fun to see. But I'm going to tell you right now, I know their pass defense ain't good, but this is a game they better watch out for Travis Hunter. Travis Hunter on the offensive side of the ball will take some licks. And I'm telling you, I don't know if I'd risk him, man. Something's gonna happen. That kid playing this many snaps every ball game. I'm being honest when I say right now, if I had to give a Heisman Trophy out, he would get my Heisman Trophy because he's been unstoppable on both sides of the ball. They don't beat Baylor without him on either side. He does the most big plays. But man, they gonna mess around and get this boy hurt. And I worry about him sometimes because we hadn't seen a dual sport athlete like this in a long ass time. Or a dual sided guy plays both sides of the ball. We ain't seen this in a minute.
We ain't seen it in a minute. And last time,
because even when Dion did it, even when Champ Bailey did it at Georgia, even when Rod Woodson done it at Purdue, they didn't play out. And then Charles Woodson done it too at Michigan, and all of them won Heisman. Everybody but Champ. Champ didn't win a Heisman, but they didn't play both sides of the ball every play like he does.
And see, that's what I was having a discussion with too with some guys. That was because everybody bought it until he can do it in the NFL. Listen, I believe he can do it in the NFL, but he's not gonna do it I said if he do it, he's not gonna do it on the level he's doing it on now. I said,
look, I'm gonna tell you right now, the physicality in the NFL.
I was bringing up. I said they didn't play that extent. They ain't play both sides to the extent, bro. I said he definitely ain't doing it like that in the NFL.
I'm gonna go a step further. In the NFL, they are as physical as it's gonna be. That's top tier athletes right there. And the game has changed some. Right. You're gonna take some licks. And people don't talk about this a lot. Travis Hunter is a little bit skinny. He don't have that muscular human. Yeah. Dog, look what happened to Devontae Smith the other day.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, man, like he ain't got the build to be doing that both sides of the NFL. He ain't got the build to be doing that both sides if he played in the SEC. I'll say it right now.
Yeah, man. And this is the discussion that we're having too. Could he do that at Alabama or Georgia? I said, shit, no, he can't do it at no Alabama or Georgia.
I dare somebody to try to play 130 snaps against Georgia on both sides of the ball. Shit.
Man, them boys, listen.
Georgia's got receivers that are more physical than Colorado's got these at some points of the game. I'm telling you right now.
Georgia gonna be physical at the cornerback position by putting hands on you, jam you at the line, and they're gonna be physical on you when they come down when you ain't getting the ball. When they ain't passing the ball to them and they blocking your ass, they're gonna be physical on both sides.
You damn right. All right. So who you got in that game?
Talking about which game we were just talking about?
UCF and Colorado.
I'm going UCF on that bad boy.
I am too. I'm gonna have to see more consistency from Colorado before I can start trusting the pick.
Yeah.
Because they were in a better position last year. They were 4-0 last year at this point.
Yeah.
And then the damn wheels fell off the bus. So they got to show me more consistency before I can pick them yet.
Most definitely. I just think that eventually that run game gonna got that wear down on their defense, man. I think that run game gonna
agree.
Oklahoma, not Oklahoma, but Louisville and Notre Dame.
That's gonna be an interesting ball game. If I was a betting man, and I'm not, Notre Dame's favored. I like Louisville's chances. They got Notre Dame by 7. Louisville upset them last year.
Yes,
this year, I know Notre Dame's won 2 games in a row since they got upset by Northern Illinois, but they ain't beat nothing. Louisville's well coached. They got a hell of a coach. I like Louisville's coach a lot.
Coach Brom, a Louisville guy.
I'll tell you right now, I used to watch him coach the Arena League way back when. Not long after his career ended. He was a good coach there.
Louisville.
I've been watching him a minute.
This year, Louisville, it's a different offensive scheme, but it's working for them this year. They're passing the ball a whole lot better. The defensive production that they got returning is like 75% of their defense production returned this season, and it's showing up. I believe we knock out Notre Dame. I think you can expose them in the pass game, but Notre Dame offense, their running back, they got that not running back, quarterback. He the one that can extend drives and make it a long, miserable game for you at times too. But in the end, I think Louisville just do it. You know what I'm saying? They get them in the end, I believe, Louisville.
I agree with you. All right, let's move on to the number 21 Oklahoma versus Auburn. It ain't going to go the way I want it to because I would want Oklahoma to score 85, but I'm realistic. I think Oklahoma beats them by double digits. I just do. A lot of people down on them against they play Tennessee, but realistically, they slowed Tennessee's attack down more than anybody else has at this point. And they're offensively, I think they got to put a different quarterback in. I think them and Auburn's in the same situation quarterback-wise that they've got to find somebody else because it ain't getting done. But I think Oklahoma-wise is just going – they're better.
I got Oklahoma in this game, but Jackson Arnold, very talented coming out of high school. I remember his recruitment. I think he still has that ability, but Oklahoma ain't giving them Tennessee game. Really give them enough time to be able to get off.
That's a good Tennessee team. So.
Yeah. Do I still think he's it? I still don't think he's it. I think they do need to continue to move forward with the guy that they're going to start Saturday. But you go to Auburn, you went to Hank Brown through the New Mexico State. You thought you found your savior because he did well, I guess, against New Mexico State. At least this is what I'm hearing from Auburn fans. Oh, Hank Brown did good. I said, y'all do know y'all played New Mexico State, right? I said, but I guess he did do well against them, though. I said, but you do know it was New Mexico State, right? Yeah. So you come start him last game. He started last game. And you went back to the other dude that was a failure, Payton Thorne. And now you got a quarterback competition going on because you try to find out who's the best of the worst.
Hey, there's an interesting comment in the chat right there. Alabama Tide. He said Venables will be fired. Man, I don't know. I don't think he's had long enough yet. And really, to this point, who you going to bring in to replace him?
Yep.
Oklahoma ain't the destination job it was 10 years ago.
Nope.
Not in my eyes. I mean, who you going to bring in? Mike Stoops again? I mean, he going to come out of retirement? I mean,
probably
really,
not.
Maybe his brother Mark. But realistically, who's going to replace him right now? I mean, he's not been there long enough. You got to let his recruits get settled in. it's just not the job it used to be. And sometimes yanking a coach out,
That's
you
right.
think things look bad now. You fire a guy and you bring in another nobody, and things get even worse. Ask Auburn. Because the thing we didn't talk about with the Auburn game, Auburn's schedule coming up, they could realistically lose the next 3. I think most people would say they'll lose the next 3. That will give them and Harsin the same amount of games coached at Auburn, and he will have one less win than Harsin did. But nobody talks about that. Nobody. So sometimes you fire and you go down even worse.
Yep. Especially
Hugh
how you
Freeze.
did it.
Well, Hugh Freeze got there by beating Saban twice. Let's be realistic. That's what they wanted. They wanted the Saban killer. Well, he wasn't the Saban killer either because he won twice. Malzahn gave us more hell than anybody.
Yeah.
He fired him, and that was done. Auburn doesn't want to admit that they're not the destination that they think they are. They're the little brothers in the state, and I'm not even trying to be a shithead about Auburn just because I don't like them. They're not that team. They've had small little runs throughout history. They've never dominated for long extended periods of time. They're just not that school. And they should have held on to what they had, and now they're paying for it.
Yeah.
I sort of agree, Godfather. And to be honest with you, I could see them just winning too. I'm just being honest. I could see them losing the rest of them. And I agree with Ken right there too, because Venables has put together a hell of a defense. Because look how they played Tennessee last week. Because Tennessee's firing on all cylinders. They got it in the passing game and the running game. Tennessee's offense is freaking phenomenal right now. And Oklahoma played them fairly well. They really did.
They just couldn't get it going on offense. If they would have got some going on offense, it could have been a closer game than what it was. I still think Tennessee would have ended up doing what they do, but it would have been a better game for Oklahoma.
Nico's hell, man. Nico's good. They didn't even really use him a lot in that game. I think he threw for like 180 yards. They didn't make him do too much. But, yeah, I don't know. I couldn't fire Venables yet. There's another question we want to answer. It says, do you see Deion taking the Florida job after their coach gets fired? No,
I don't. I don't even think they'll reach out to him. But I'll tell any Florida team this. If you want people to come to your state, if you want people to come to your school from the state of Florida, I believe it'll be the way to go. I believe
you can't deny the eyes he's put on Colorado and the money he's put in their pockets. They have been must-watch television, even for me. I didn't try to watch Colorado a lot the last few years, but when Deion got there, I wanted to watch the circus, good or bad. I wanted to see what happened. I don't think it's fair to call him a great coach yet when he hadn't been coaching long enough to be considered great. No. He's not been coaching that long. I think he should take the coordinator route and worked his way up like everybody else. And I think Deion could have, because he already got the recruitment power, because who wouldn't want to play for Deion, especially if you're a skill position player. But, there's a lot. That's a long conversation. But, no, I don't. Not in Florida. I don't see it.
Somebody asked me about what do I think going on with Deion. I said, I think it's recruiting. They were like, you think he can't recruit? I said, I think he can possibly recruit. I said, but how many young kids that that's going to go to Boulder, Colorado and play football, bro?
I mean, it's a beautiful country over there, but that cold weather hits different. And if I can run around in the state of Florida, I would rather. It just feels good all the time. And I have questions about him playing daddy ball sometimes. And does he really want to recruit that good, or does he want the focus to be on the 3 guys he brought there, the 2 Sanders and the Hunter? I mean, realistic, because they got Horn on that team and they got Wesker on that team at wide receiver, and they don't get no talk, and they're good.
They don't get no talk. And Horn been balling for the goddamn 2 days a year, bro.
But everything's about, and then he has the O-line come out. Who was it, Baylor? He has the O-line come out in the meeting room with Shador just to show him off. I'm like, man, stop.
Yeah,
They don't want
you
to get
doing
there.
that shit.
They've
Yeah.
been in a car wreck all game long, just bang bang every play. They ain't trying to stand up there. They don't want this shit.
But you did that. You did that for your boy image though.
Yes, and that's why Deion's got haters, and he don't see that. Like people love Deion Sanders, the player, but the coach, he does things to make you not like him sometimes.
Yeah,
He puts the target on himself.
puts the target on himself. You damn right. Hey, we can talk about one more game, man.
Yeah.
Unless you got one more, unless you got another one after the fact, because I'm going through.
I would like to talk about Illinois and Penn State because I'm honestly, the line is not 19 and a half. They got Penn State by 19 and a half, and I'm like, wait a minute.
Illinois is like 4-0 right now, right?
4-0. They beat a good Nebraska team last week.
Yep.
Penn State's played pretty solid. Offensively, they looked a little better than they have in a couple years. But then you watch them squeak a win out against Bowling Green and stuff like that. And I'm like, I don't know, man. This game may be worth watching. It may be one that's closer than they're picking right now. I definitely wouldn't bet that game.
That is an interesting game because I do know Illinois is 4-0. I am never the biggest fan of Penn State, my opinion.
No, me, the choke artist.
And I believe this is one of them games that Illinois can possibly keep that streak going, man.
I agree.
Keep that streak going.
What's that last one you want to talk about?
Arkansas and A&M.
That may be a good ball game.
Huh?
I think A&M's overinflated. I didn't think they belonged in the top 25 this year. A new coach, target on his head way too early. I think he's a good coach, but I don't think they're a top 25 team. Arkansas has got a shot to win this. I know the point spread's at 5.5. But A&M, Arkansas coming off a win where a lot of people picked Auburn to win that. I don't know why or who they are, and they need to reevaluate their life lessons. But they come off an emotional win last week, and they're going to turn around and play A&M, have a chance to be a top 25 team, and really change the trajectory of this Arkansas team from 3 weeks ago, where people had already pulled them off. So Arkansas dangerous in this game for sure.
Despite the turnovers from both teams last week, Arkansas, Auburn, I called it the turnover bowl in my head. Honestly, I called it the turnover bowl. I still like what Arkansas has to prove, like what they're showing so far. Like Taylor Green, settle down. Season ain't over. It was just a bad game. Settle down. Continue to do the things that you're doing. Continue to get better. And I think the Arkansas team show a little promise. Do I think a SEC win, a SEC championship? No. But I think Sam Pittman will be there next season, moving forward. But this game, I like Arkansas this game, man. I do like Arkansas this game.
I'm going to do too, man. I want to highlight one more thing before we jump off here. Michelle's comment down there, she said Deion's going to Dallas. I can see
dumbest move Jerry Jones ever do.
At this point, he's got to grasp at straws. Nothing else is working. It's been 30. They got to kind of try anything at this point. At least bring in more money because, I mean, at this point, it's been, 30 years?
Man, yeah.
It's been like 30 years, close to it. I mean, why not? Bring in good coordinators to surround him and actually call plays and just let Deion be the guy that's just the, I don't know. Why not at this point? Why not? It'd be fun to watch.
Hey, we know wherever Deion goes, it's gonna be a show. We know that much.
That's my point. And if you hated the Cowboys before, you really gonna hate them now. So it might be worth your time. I don't know. Maybe get the NFL focused off Taylor Swift and maybe onto something else. You know what I'm saying?
But the A&M game, come back to that.
My bad. You know me. I get sad.
No, you good. No, I like it because it's authentic. It's what we do. I expect it to happen every time with us. They are finna go through it. We don't know if they're starting the starting quarterback or the other guy. And the way A&M playing football right now, they should go with the other guy. I think it's Connor Wiggum that's there. He looks good in shorts and shirt, throwing routes, throwing passes. But the style of football that Mike Echo trying to play, go with the other guy. Go with the other guy.
Good comment right there by Kim, by the way. Great comment. Says, I think Texas A&M has more five-star talent than Arkansas has ever thought about. I'm going to have to disagree with you on this one. Texas A&M easily handles Arkansas. Very possible. They do have talent. If you watch them this year, that you've got to question some of the coaching mistakes.
Yeah.
It's cost them more than once. I don't know.
Not a bad cover, though. Good. That was good.
Ken's smart. I've been reading his comments for over a year. He's a smart guy. He watches a lot of football.
Yeah, my opinion, I just think Arkansas bounces back off that game that they wish they could have had back. Even though they won, I know it was a lot of plays. I believe they wish they could have had the whole game back and redo it over. Even though they won. Win is a win. But I think they fix all that this week, my opinion. But
I think Arkansas can do is just get out of their own way and let that running back and quarterback take it over.
Facts.
Straight up.
Clemson, Stanford, I ain't know much I really want to talk about. Let's see what South Alabama can do with LSU. They've been putting up crazy numbers.
If they've got any kind of running game, they can be a problem for LSU because they can't stop shit when it comes to running the ball. And now they're really their best defensive players out. LSU's is out.
Yeah, for the year too. That sucks for them, bro. But
realistically, LSU's offense is pretty damn good. It gets overshadowed by the fact that their defense is giving up a lot of yards. Their quarterback, Nussmeier's playing good ball.
Hey, so that was one of the things, man. L.A. Chris talked about this all season. He wasn't a big believer in Nussmeier, but I will tell you that guy been balling, man. That guy been playing football, man.
He really has. LSU offensively looks pretty damn good. It's just defensively, I don't understand. I've been saying that since Brian Kelly's been there. I don't understand how their defense can look that way with the kind of talent they've had.
Oh, one more game. One more, and I'm for real. SMU and Florida State.
FSU finally got that mercy win last week, but I don't know, man. Like, ain't no way I bet on them.
I'm going with SMU, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm going with SMU. Because they got a mercy win, but that shit didn't look good at all.
SMU's offense is dynamic, though. I mean, it really is.
I like Red Lashley.
I do too.
Man. I met that guy at my cousin's funeral, too. Not funeral, but wedding. My cousin, Jonathan Wallace.
Yeah.
Yeah. I met him at I like that guy, though. I like the way he called. That's why Killian Russell committed, because of Red Lashley. You know what I'm saying? If you a quarterback guy, I like to go play for a guy like Red Lashley.
Yeah, for sure.
I consider it at least. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
They 3-1, and Florida State is 1 and whatever. And they lost to BYU. They one lost to a BYU team. 18-15 was the score.
There ain't no shame in that. BYU's playing physical right now.
Yo, and that's one thing I tell people about BYU. I said BYU ain't just started getting physical. They been always just playing a good brand of football.
Oh, yeah. I remember when they were wide open, like an air raid type thing when, what was his name? Lavelle Edwards was their coach.
Yeah.
And, Ty Detmer was coming through there and some other guys. But, yeah, man. And then they transitioned, kind of became more physical. And I guess they had to compete with like Utah and Boise State, teams like that. But
yeah,
man, they've been a slept on team for a long time.
Yeah, that's facts. But man, if you ain't got nothing else to talk about, we're gonna wrap this thing up. Overall,
Yeah, I got some food in my belly, man. I'm getting hungry.
Yeah, sir. Me too. So, but overall, if you went here for the Alabama Georgia breakdown preview prediction, go back and rewatch it for me. I think we did a good job. I think we talked about some good stuff on that behalf. I think, my opinion. Whatever.
We've talked everything, man. Football, high school football, pro football, world events, Diddy freak offs. We've made the rounds, man.
Yeah, we've been on here for 2 hours and 25 minutes. God damn.
And you know we could have went for another 2.5 more.
Yeah, for real. Roll Tide, Dexter, appreciate you for tuning in. But yeah, we got Bama winning. I got Bama winning a close one. I got him winning a close one. But hey, let's see, can Kirby get this monkey off his back and take it back to Athens. And like we said, it's not the end of the world for whoever loses. Not the end of the world. Yeah. Whatever loses, I believe whatever team gonna come back even stronger.
I think so.
That's gonna be a scary thing for college football for whoever loses. But man, I appreciate y'all tuning in. That was another episode. And I appreciate y'all for tuning in. Make sure y'all go back and hit the like button, make comments, whatever. I appreciate y'all. Like up, big day on Saturday. And Roll Tide, and we out, baby.
Roll Tide, y'all.